radio for the masses.
Headline edition, July 8, 1947. The Army Air Forces has announced that a flying disc has been found and is now in the possession of the Army.
If the game is rigged, change the game. Game changer.
I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
This is Fade to Black with your host, Jimmy Church, on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
I need your help to get to the year 1985.
You're listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Network.
Good evening. Fade to Black. Bespoke Radio. For the masses. Yeah, that's right. Today's Wednesday, March 25th, 2020. Days into the new year, just 281 days left. We are live from a bunker somewhere in the middle of beautiful downtown Burbank, California, and I would like to welcome everybody listening all around the world, all across the United States. Hither and thither, to and fro, back and forth, up and down, east and west, north and south, far and near. This is Fade to Black for KJCR, the Game Changer Network, and KGRA, the Planets. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. What is cracking, everybody? How you doing? You don't have to adjust your radio. Smack your TV set. Tonight is Wednesday. Tonight is Fadernight. Open lines all night long. We shifted the programming around this week because tomorrow night, Chris Bledsoe is here. Chris Bledsoe is going to be here to take your phone calls, answer all of your questions. It's going to be a great show tomorrow night. Tonight is Fadernight. Open lines all night long. All right. The call-in number, write it down, 747-228-2051. Easy enough to do, 747-228-2051. Follow me on Twitter at JChurchRadio. That's right. You can start there, especially on Fadernight. We blow through a lot of tweets, and it's always 1,000 or 2,000 tweets or more. And you can go and check all of that out on Twitter at JChurchRadio. Okay, so you can do that there. And hashtag F2B is the sandbox. We have 2 chat rooms open, one over at Spreaker, one over at KGRA. The Planet, of course, we've got YouTube running live, so you got the chat room over at YouTube. We have Facebook, you can chat there. Twitter, we've got our Periscope feeds, you can chat there. You can do whatever you want. Everything is in real time because this is a live broadcast. All right, so I want to welcome everybody listening all around the world, all across the United States. You can also email Jimmy at jimmychurchradio.com. Okay, all of that is very simple and easy to do. I love social media. I hang out and I interface with everybody. So if you would like to pop me a question or any comment during the show, you can shoot me an email. You can post something up on Twitter at hashtag F2BQ. That's Fade to Black Questions. We use TweetDeck here. Now, TweetDeck is an automated version of Twitter. It is a Twitter product. It's just called TweetDeck. And it enables you to have a bunch of different columns going across of things that you want to follow. And it runs like a slot machine, right? It's exactly what it looks like. And for me, I have myself. All of my notifications are there. First column. Second column is the sandbox, hashtag F2B. This is how it works for me, right? And then hashtag F2BQ, Fade to Black questions. And then on the far right is Rita. I have her over there, GCRN, Fade to Black. So I've got myself and Rita on both ends, and then I have F2B and F2BQ in the middle. That works for me, but it's all automatic. And it's really fun to engage in conversations because it all flows. And as anybody makes a comment and answers your question or responds or replies to you, it pops up automatically, and you can see it right there. So get TweetDeck. Get TweetDeck. And once you get TweetDeck installed, it's very simple from there. Your first tweet out is hashtag F2B. That's it. That's your first tweet. Hashtag F2B. I just got TweetDeck. Can somebody come here and help me? That's what you do, and then the Fadernauts will come running. All right? There you go. I should, man, that is a real promotion. That's a promotion on a product that I believe in. That's it. That's exactly what that is. But it's unpaid. All right, get yourself TweetDeck. All right, let's get to the breaking news. And, last night we had David Icke on the show. And one of the comments I made to David last night, I'm not sure if I've said it before, but it just seems like we're in a science fiction movie, but it's for real, right? That's. Do you hear that hum? You hear that hum? I wonder what that is. Is that coming through in the broadcast? That's weird. Check. That's weird. I hear it. I don't know if it's coming through. Okay, I'll ignore it. I don't know if it's actually coming through. Let's get to the breaking news of this science fiction movie that we're living in. Today it was announced that Prince Charles, Queen Elizabeth II's son, and the heir to the British throne, has tested positive for coronavirus and is now self-isolating in Scotland. Also today, Jackson Browne, one of my favorite singer-songwriters of all time, is saying that he tested positive for coronavirus. And he added that he was recently in New York City for the Love Rocks New York City benefit concert. So there you go, Jackson Browne testing positive. He says he feels okay, though. All right? All right, that's the good news. More good news. The stock market rose again today, up 496 points to finish at 21,200. And today in the United States, now, after listening to David Icke last night, I thought that the show was a positive show, right? It was a positive show in its own strange way. I really enjoyed getting that information out of Mr. Icke last night. But coronavirus is what it is, okay? And the numbers are the numbers. And we talked about that last night, which is this. Today in the United States, the number of corona, and remember that all of this is based on a population of 350 million people, okay? The number jumped today to 65,797 coronavirus cases that are active. 10,941 were added overnight, and 935 deaths, with 155 added in the last 24 hours. Now, right now, although the numbers will change, the U.S. has had more than double the deaths than recoveries, okay? It's a very small number, but that is the ratio. But at the current rate of change, the United States is poised not only to move past Italy into the number 2 spot in the world in about 2 days. When that happens, they will also, the United States will replace China and move to the number 1 spot. That's right. It's going to be interesting. The number is small. It's a small number, but we will be number 1. Now, here is all of the good news. I've got a lot of it. Dyson receives a UK government order to build 10,000 ventilators. French troops will temporarily withdraw from Iraq due to coronavirus. And I think that is a great piece of news. New York University offers medical students early graduation to become doctors. How was that for some good news? Coronavirus testing has tripled in California with about 66,800 tests that have been completed so far and about 39,000 more than yesterday. California has distributed 24.5 million N95 masks and has placed orders for another 100 million more. That is also great news. Now, the famous Four Seasons Hotel says it will offer housing to medical staff free of charge as they help respond to the coronavirus pandemic in New York City. More great news. Defense Secretary Mark Esper has signed an order requiring all military forces currently overseas or scheduled to deploy overseas from the United States to stay in their current locations for the next 60 days. More great news. Also, check this out. Tesla CEO Elon Musk says the company's shuttered Buffalo, New York factory would reopen as soon as humanly possible to aid with ventilator production. Thank you, Elon Musk. U.S. Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin said today that the administration expects to issue those direct payments to taxpayers within 3 weeks of the stimulus package being signed into law. It looks like that is going to happen first thing in the morning. Now, I got a little bit of bad news. Not much. We covered all of the bad news that we could possibly cover over the last 2 weeks, but here is the latest. There are 236 New York Police Department members who have tested positive for coronavirus, with 3,200 police officers out sick, which is just about 10% of the entire NYPD. Louisiana Governor John Bel Edwards, speaking at a news conference today, said a region of the state, which includes Orleans Parish, could run out of ventilators by early April. Missouri Governor Mike Parson is asking President Trump to issue a major disaster declaration for the entire state due to the coronavirus. Idaho Governor Brad Little has issued a stay-home order for the state. Israel's Netanyahu warns of possible complete lockdown situations if things get worse. Minnesota governor orders residents to shelter in place. More than 10,700 National Guard members are now activated for U.S. coronavirus responses. Alaska Airlines is cutting its flight schedule by 70% for the next 2 months. And new data shows nearly 70% of the hotel rooms in the entire country were vacant last week, with a 56% decline from the same week last year. The average occupied room cost is now down to $93, also down from last year. San Francisco and New York recorded an 80% decrease in rooms occupied from this time last year. All right, let's get to the coronavirus numbers. Yesterday, Tuesday, and I do yesterday's numbers first so we can take a close look at where we are for real today. So yesterday, coronavirus cases around the world were 418,474. That were up 40,000 in 24 hours. Deaths yesterday, 18,611, which was an increase of 2,200 over 24 hours. Recoveries right now worldwide yesterday were at 108,323. Today, Wednesday, March 25th at 7 p.m. PST, right before showtime, coronavirus cases worldwide, 468,905. Again, up over 40,000 in 24 hours. Deaths now recorded, 21,200, an increase of over 2,500 in 24 hours. Recovered, the number has jumped to 114,218. Now, the real numbers. There are only 333,487 active cases worldwide. Remember, they're reporting 468,000. The actual number is only 333,000. Okay, 14,792, about 4% are considered serious or critical. That is worldwide. 318,695, 96% of the cases worldwide are considered mild conditions. Okay? That's the real numbers. Let's get this show cracking. Happy birthday to today. Elton John is 73. I want you to post right now. I want everybody to post right now your favorite Elton John song. All right? I'm going to go... man, I like Daniel's song. But I like Rocket Man, too. Where do I go with that? I'm going Rocket Man. Sarah Jessica Parker today is 55. Spandau Ballet's Steve Norman is 60. And before you go, huh? Who is Steve Norman? Steve Norman is the dude that played that amazing sax solo in True. And I'm going to say this, the heavy metal dude that I am, when that record came out and that song True was playing on the radio, I was mesmerized, and I still am today. I love that song, like me some Spandau Ballet, and that sax solo is amazing. And now, on top of that, so today I'm in the bunker, right? I'm in the bunker and I'm working, blah, 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 blah. Rita walks in. And I've got Spandau cranked. Man, she shot me a look like, what church? What's going on in here? It's Spandau Ballet. Yeah, Steve Norman, today, 60 years old. Our dead guy's birthday today is, I need a moment of silence, please, everyone, Aretha Franklin, 1942 to 2018. Died at the age of 76. The Queen of Soul. That's right, The Voice. With hits like Respect, Chain of Fools, Think, and You Make Me Feel Like a Natural Woman. All of those put her at the very top of everything. She's truly one of the greatest talents in history. She also appeared in the Blues Brothers film in 1980. Remember that? She did Think in the bar. No, coffee shop. The coffee shop in Chicago. Remember that? She was also the first woman to be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame back in 1987. Aretha died at her home in Detroit on August 16th, 2018, at the age of 76. And when she died, she had no will. Yeah. On this day in history, OTD 1967, the Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. leads a march of 5,000 anti-war demonstrators in the streets of Chicago, Illinois. And then he would be assassinated almost exactly 1 year later on April 4th, 1968 in Memphis, Tennessee. Fader fact. Okay, here you go. And you can check this out. I got all the data right here. It's been vetted. Fader fact. The President of the United States technically has the right to shut off the internet for all U.S. citizens in case of a national emergency. It's also known as the Presidential Internet Kill Switch. It's Section 706D of the Communications Act of 1942, which gives the president wide-ranging freedom and authority to shut down computer systems. That's right. And that is your Fader fact. Tonight is another Fader night. Open lines all night long. That's right. Tonight is Fader night. Not tomorrow night. Tonight is Fader night. Tomorrow night, Chris Bledsoe is here. Chris is going to take your phone calls and answer all of your questions. But tonight, it's all about you. It's my favorite night of the week, Fader night. The call-in number is 747-228-2051. I'm going to open up the phone lines at the bottom of the hour in exactly 10 minutes. So, now, this is the point of the show where I hit this River Moon coffee. River River Moon Coffee. Yesterday, Rita and I were sitting on the patio, right, having our morning cup of coffee. She brings it out. I'm sitting out there, and I did this for about 5 minutes. I'm not kidding. Drove her nuts. Loved it. I go, I drank the whole cup of coffee like that. Man, I almost wore the coffee. Man, I just love my coffee. RiverMoonCoffee.com. Fade to Black Blend, the best coffee in the world. All right. Click on the banners over at JimmyChurchRadio.com. Do I look gangsta? Oh, I meant to dress gangsta today. Oh, hold on. Let's go full gangsta. Let's just go gangsta. Do I look gangsta? Gangsta. See, I'm looking at myself right there. Gangsta. OG Church. Because today I ventured out and I got my eggs. I did. I got my eggs today. I felt pretty good too, seriously. So tonight, the good news is it's breakfast in bed. Yep, I have requested a giant ham and cheese omelet with hash browns and sourdough toast with butter and strawberry jam. That's what I'm doing tonight. Man. And let me tell you, Rita's the best cook in the world. And the hash browns, the potatoes are soaking in water. You soak them overnight in water, and they absorb all that water. They're moist, man, and you just get those, man, and it's going to be on. Oh, man. I cannot eat eggs, by the way, in any form. I cannot eat eggs without pepper, black pepper. In fact, I need to see the pepper. It's not even really the taste. Well, it's the taste, of course, but I cannot, if I don't have black pepper, I can't eat the eggs. I'll send them back. It's really, really weird. And I've been doing that my entire life. Are you guys the same way with that? I got to have black pepper. So tonight, black pepper on that ham and cheese omelet. And also tonight, before I get to the other stuff I want to talk about, we're going to be watching the new Vin Diesel movie tonight. It's called Bloodshot. It was just moved directly from theaters to streaming because of the coronavirus, right? So we get that going for us. It looks pretty good, by the way. It's called Bloodshot. We're going to check that out. Did everybody watch Project Blue Book last night? Again, that was pretty good. That was a pretty entertaining show. And more on that. We'll talk about that tonight. Now, back to the events of the day. So I ventured out to go and do some shopping. And I went to just one store. And yes, I'm walking up to the store, and there was somebody outside collecting cards. And I said, hey, you got eggs? He said, yeah, we do, actually. I was like, no way. Man, I march into the store. I'm all in a good mood. And all good. That's really all I've got. Well, not really, because I did walk around the store. I wanted to check out everything. I looked at all the shelves, and there was fresh meat in the back. There was fully stocked veggies. I was there to get some lettuce and tomatoes and some mayonnaise, because today we made lettuce, tomato, turkey sandwiches with mayo and a little salt, right? So we did that. And but all the other stuff, walking around the store, right? Frozen foods still gone, flour gone, rice gone, canned foods, soups, beans, stews, chili, all that stuff is gone. There is so much pasta and sauce that is going to be eaten over the next few months. It really boggles the mind. The stuff that's always sitting on the shelf, nobody ever buys. That is what everybody's going to be eating over the next 3 months. And I'm sure that Kraft has sold an awful lot of Parmesan cheese. Now, after that, I walked to the checkout. All right, I just had a little basket of stuff. I had my lettuce, I had my eggs, Swiss cheese, mayo. I'm good to go, right? Okay, so I'm walking up the checkout line. There's nobody there. Like, wow. And then I saw the tape. There was police tape, caution tape around the checkout lines, and which was empty, by the way. And I couldn't figure out what was going on. I'm like, what the? And then I see two security guards directing people, and I see so I had to head to the other side of the store, and I walk around the corner, and then I saw everybody in line all the way. But hold on, it gets better. I walked to the end of the line, and there's a woman standing there, and she's standing like 10 feet back, so I didn't know if she was coming up to the last person in line, and I said to her, hey, are you in line? And she says, we're practicing social distancing. She had a face mask on, by the way. And I went, and I turned around and look, and sure enough, everybody in line is like at least 6 feet apart. And I'm tripping. And I answered her in my louder than normal church voice. I'm like, oh, yeah, I forgot. We're all social distancing. And everybody in line turned around and looked at us and started laughing. And a couple of people gave me the thumbs up, and everybody was in a pretty good mood, actually. Some of the shoppers were wearing masks, including the lady that I was talking to at the end of the line. All of the cashiers, everybody stocking shelves, everybody had masks on. But while I was waiting in line, I texted Rita, and I said, I got eggs. She immediately replies back with the most honest text ever. She goes, you lie. I couldn't wait to get those eggs home. It was a great, great day. So there you go. There you go. There's light at the end of the tunnel. Tonight, after 2 weeks, I get an omelet. This is Fade to Black. Tonight is another Fadernight. I am your host, Jimmy Church. The call-in number is 747-228-2051. Write that down. 747-228-2051. That's right. It's your calls. It's your conversation. UFOs, the paranormal, supernatural, conspiracy, lost history, time travel, whatever you want to talk about. How are you doing around the country? I know that so many of you are hunkered down at home hanging out. So tonight is the night. I want to hear from everybody. Oh, by the way, I got to say happy birthday to OG Fadernight, Karen. Happy birthday, Karen. And you know I'm about to say it. 29 never looks so good. Happy birthday. I'll be right back taking your phone calls right after this. Stay with us.
This is Nicole Church, daughter of you-know-who, and you're listening to Fade to Black on JimmyChurchRadio.com and the Game Changer Network.
You're listening to Jimmy Church, Fade to Black.
Fade to Black will now pause for alien identification.
The station that talks the net. KGRA Radio. When you take the beans from Central America with dashes of Indonesian and African mixed in and then roast it to the dark side of Fade to Black, you create the ultimate brew of fringe. Introducing the Fade to Black blend from River Moon Coffee. Yes, River Moon's darkest customized roast was created for the love of Fade to Black. The alchemy of masterful roasting and smoking the beans is in every sip of this full-bodied, dark Java. I need my coffee dark, deep, with distinct bittersweet chocolate highlights, just like the bunker. Leaning further into the darkness of the roast is Fade to Black blend from River Moon Coffee. Just click on the banner at JimmyChurchRadio.com and use the promo code F2BBlend for 15% off of your order today. Gobekli Tepe. This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and you can get our podcast for just $2 per month. All you have to do is click on the podcast banner over at jimmychurchradio.com.
OMG! People are jumping on board to the Life Change Tea Regiment. Brew, steep, and drink for a gentle, taste-great cleanse. It's changing how they feel. See what everybody's talking about. Log on to getthetea.com. That's getthetea.com. Life Change Tea aids in digestive slowdown and helps people get moving down a healthy path. We won't make claims. We'll just let you decide. Experience is much better than a commercial anyway. If you want results, log on to getthetea.com and purchase your super strength cleansing tea. You won't be disappointed. And if you're looking for some mind-body suggestions, go to YouTube and punch in the search bar Health Matters Now. That's Health Matters Now. Put power into your health now. So, getthetea.com. That's getthetea.com for super strength tea. And YouTube, Health Matters Now. That's Health Matters Now for valuable suggestions. Getthetea.com. The tea that makes you go.
9 out of 10 geneticists agree.
Fade to Black is not your father's radio show. On the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, The Planet.
Hi, this is Rob Reiner from Anvil, and you're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com.
What's up? I'm Chris. What up? This is Kyle Matthew, and you're listening to Jimmy Church Radio.
All right, welcome back. Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. Tonight is Fadernight, not tomorrow night. Fadernight is tonight. 747-228-2051. Open lines all night long. It's your conversation. Whatever you want to talk about. UFOs, the paranormal, supernatural, conspiracy, time travel, lost history. That's right. Ham and cheese omelets with pepper. And you know what? There's another thing that I do. I'll get to the calls in a second. There's another thing that it's weird. My breakfast habits are strange. And because I don't know if they're strange, because I have to have pepper on my eggs, scrambled eggs over easy, omelet, whatever is going on there, it's got to be peppered, right? But, and hash browns, I have to do those two things. But then it's the toast. Whether the toast is too bad, all of the breakfast habits are coming in. But I have to have toast with butter and strawberry. I do. I have to go there. It's just a weird thing. So I'm very excited that we have finally got eggs here. So anyway, it's your conversation tonight. Let's take the first phone call. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hey, this is Dylan from Fort Worth, Texas. I called you about 2 years ago, saw a green chrome ball or some chrome ball in the sky. Daughter Lux, I make motorcycles. Don't know if that's ringing a bell.
Oh, wait a minute. I do actually remember you. It's been a couple of years, but you sent me the pictures. You sent me a couple of shots of motorcycles. I think your daughter said hello too, right? Am I right?
Yes, sir. She did.
See, now I got a pretty good memory, don't I, for an old
you do.
dude?
Fantastic memory. Fantastic.
There you go.
Hey, go ahead.
No, it's on you, Dylan. You called me.
So let me ask you this. With everything, and I don't know where you stand on this, it just kind of dropped off. I went to school with Corey Good, same schools in Richardson, Texas, and I don't know, some of the tests he took as a kid, I took the same test, and I don't know where you stand on that. It's just kind of interesting to me how he kind of faded off the radar, and, you know, he was an interesting character for a bit and then just kind of, you know, disappeared. I have my thoughts, but I was just curious what you thought about it and what some of the Fadernauts thought.
What are my thoughts about him going to the same school with you?
No, just in general. I'm sorry. Just in general, it's where he's taking, where he's taking his path now, and where he made such a huge impact on this community, and then now is kind of,
Yeah. I don't, and I kind of hear what you're saying there, but I don't follow what's going on with him and certain parts of the community. I don't have the time to. So I have no idea what's going on out there, or what people are doing or saying, and so that's it. I have no idea. I really don't have a comment there. So
understand.
Yeah, and just like anything else with this community, I think that. There are a lot of different personalities that come along, and they kind of phase in and phase out, and they have their little thing, and then the community moves on, and it's hard for me to keep up with all of the new stuff and the breaking stuff. And Jimmy, have you heard about this person? This person just said this, and there's a new book out, or this interview, this person is interesting. And it's impossible, man. It's impossible to keep up with it all. And
totally.
Yeah, and like right now, I'm really interested in Chris Bledsoe and the things that he has to say. It's a very, very interesting case that has been going on for 12 years now. And that is very compelling to me, which is why he's going to be on with us tomorrow night. And
fantastic.
Yeah, and what's great about Chris with everything that he's got, so much evidence and eyewitness testimony and photographs and videos and different scientists and people from different organizations around the country that have come out and not only witness but listen to him, and they're trying to get the scientific side of things involved in his case. So yeah, just like everything else, right? Here we have this very, very interesting individual that has come along that we need to take a look at. And
Absolutely.
You know what? And there'll be another one, and there'll be somebody else just as interesting in a few months.
Yeah, no kidding. Hey, can I sidebar you something real quick?
Sure.
I went back and I re-listened to, I think it was like right after Conspiracy of Politics here. I went back and listened to your interview with Daniel Sheehan, which is a fascinating guy. Great guy. Went back and listened to him. He was talking right after Trump got elected, talking about, and he specifically named Kamala Harris as Biden's VP pick, which is fascinating to me, and I'm surprised he didn't touch on that the other day when you interviewed him again, because there's been numerous amounts of pictures on Google News or CNN with Biden standing next to Kamala Harris, and she's supposedly his number one pick for VP.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing.
Yeah, I don't remember that, Dylan, and I'm glad that you pointed that out. That is very interesting. And
go back and listen to it. It's fascinating. Your interview with him, he specifically, it was, you know what, I'll Facebook it to you. It's, oh gosh, it was like 2 months after his, I think it was in February maybe of 17 or whenever he was elected. You had him on, and he specifically named her. And I saved that interview and I've been just thinking about the entire time, and sure enough, he's pegged her as his pick.
Wow, that's very interesting. And you know what else I find interesting, Dylan? And thank you for the phone call. And don't take 2 years. Don't take 2 years next time, okay?
I'm still listening. I promise you, every night I'm in my garage working on bikes, I'm listening to you. I don't always call in.
Well, what I find interesting with all of the characters out there that can see the future, right? That know the future, that predict earthquakes or whatever, nobody that I know of, nobody talked about coronavirus. Nobody predicted. Nobody talked about what the biggest event, the biggest blip on the radar in 100 years, right? the biggest, craziest, the most earth-shifting thing. Nobody predicted.
Well, let me ask you this, though. My wife and I were talking about this, and she brought up Sylvia Browne, and she went and researched her quote on, the 2020. I can't remember it verbatim, but it was something due to the fact of there'll be a virus comes as quickly as it disappears, and then 10 years later it'll come back.
Okay. Okay. Could be. There's it's a little taste of it, but I'm talking about, a worldwide pandemic virus crashes the world economy, brings down this, that, ends the airline industry and the shipping industry and tourism, and every airport in the world is closed down, and half of the world's population is ordered to shelter in place. I'm talking about that. I'm talking about that prediction.
That's Ayn Rand's Atlas Shrugged right there.
Yeah, I know. I saw.
Pretty much.
I saw the meme today. The Ayn Rand meme. It was hilarious. She goes, I wrote it. Yeah, I wrote it as fiction, not as a guidebook or something like that.
Oh, my gosh. No kidding. That's like the movie Idiocracy.
Right.
I enjoy your show, so thank you so much. I appreciate it, and I will not wait 2 years to call you back.
Thank you so much,
I know
Dylan.
other callers are wanting to get in, so I appreciate it. Thanks so much, Jimmy.
Absolutely. Give my best to your daughter, man. Take care.
I will, man. Thank you so much.
Right.
Have a good night.
Dylan from Texas, and yes, Dylan, right when we were in the middle of the green chrome balls situation, I'm putting calls on hold. So if you're hearing my voice and then it goes silent, I'm just putting you on hold. Don't hang up. Right in the middle of that, Dylan contacted me from Texas and sent me some shots of his shop and what he does out there, and it was very, very cool. So thank you for that, Dylan, and I hope all is well. Don't be a stranger. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hey, this is Matt from Winnipeg. How's it going, buddy?
Hey, Matt, how you doing?
Not bad, not bad. So I just wanted to let you say, because I was just listening to your last caller there, if you really want a really good taste of a really interesting prediction, you should watch the television show that was released in 2014 called The Last Ship.
Oh, yeah. I watched about, you know what's funny about that, Matt? I got about 3 episodes in, and it didn't hold my interest. Do I need to go back and check it out?
You should really watch the whole series, because it's just so, okay, gigs up. Somebody wanted you to put this into your subconscious and make this shit acceptable.
Okay. All right.
It's like gigs up,
All right. I'll check it out. The Last Ship.
Yeah. The Nathan James was the U.S. ship that tries to save the day, and they were against the Russians there for the first series, and then in the second season they had I guess some Brits that stole a submarine because everybody else got sick on it by a bunch of other people. It's really quite interesting. It gets better and better and better as you go through the show, at least in my opinion.
Well, I had read some reviews about it, and everybody was praising the series, and I just remember going, I couldn't do it. I tried, I tried. I gave it like 3 episodes. Rita didn't watch any of it. I watched it by myself. Rita is usually my barometer, and we watch everything together. And she would have seen The Last Ship and said, nah, pass, And she loves science fiction, but I don't think that would have kept her drawn in. If I'm going to go in 2 seasons, it's got to have Rita's thumbs up before we can go that far. But there you go. All right. Anything else tonight, Matt, before I let you go?
Yeah, sure thing. I just think David Icke, this guy's my hero, eh? I listen to him for a lot of things. And I was really taken up by what you and him said about, the currency. The very first thing that no one's going to accept is cash, right? So what I found it really interesting, and I saw this for the very first time before you guys had mentioned it, is when I go and I like to get my Jackson Springs water, so I go all the way across the street or across the city to go and get it. And I walk into their store, and the very first thing that says on the sign is, "We do not accept cash because of the virus." And I'm sitting there scratching my head, and I had to ask them, if you're afraid that cash is going to spread you the virus, then wouldn't it make more sense for you to take a bucket of water, a little bit of bleach in it, and we wash the bills before we hand it to you? In that case, when we hand you our credit cards, what's to say that there's no virus on that either? I don't know about the American dollars because I've seen they're kind of papery, but the Canadian bills, they're all plastic. I've thrown my bills in my washing machine, and they come out, almost looking better than they actually went into it. And you get all your cocaine and everything, all the drugs that everybody rails them with, and it's all cleaned up from all that stuff. It's all plastic here. So there's really no excuse to ban cash in this country. And so when I start looking at what he says, and I was looking down, the lockdowns going crazier and crazier and crazier here, and they're already, like I said, they're already starting to deploy military in some of the provinces. And I listened to Richard Dolan, it's like, listen, we should all obey what they say for the first 30 days and stay inside your house and all that. And I'm like, look, I understand locking yourself up into your house to some point. But today we're going to have 30 days, and then after the 30 days are up, they're probably going to push for another week and another week and another week to see how far they can take this. And even if we all if every person on this planet obeyed what they were telling them to stay inside your house and do nothing and stay isolated from everybody else, there's nothing telling anybody else is saying, people weren't behaving the way that they're supposed to, so we're going to lock them down anyway. Regardless, there's probably all likelihood they're going to just lock us in anyway, even if we behaved. So,
Right.
So I think from what we should be doing there is we're starting right now is disobeying, because like you said, like David Icke says, the consequences might be bad now for doing so, but the consequences for doing nothing later on, will have a greater result later on if you sit back and be like all the other sheep and follow the herd.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to. I can't agree with that. I mean, everybody has their own personal, things, and if that's where you're going, that's fine. But I've got a family and a wife and kids and a life, and I don't want anything to go wrong in my house. Also, I have two elderly parents that are in their 80s, and there's no way I'm going to go and take the risk of getting everybody sick. I'm just not going to do it. I'm playing the safe card here. And that's it. I'm going with the safe bet. I'm not. There's no way I'm going to be playing with lives. It's just not going to happen at our house. You do your thing, but as for what's going on here,
it's easier for me to say because, like I said, I don't have those kinds of situations like you do. But I just, it just kind of occurred to me, like it kind of rushed into my mind and thought about that. I'm actually willing to take the virus because everything else is locked down anyway. If there's any time to be sick, it's probably right now because they can't do anything, right? You get over it, you average out, you got your antibodies. The next thing you know, like you can use my blood as almost as a vaccine. They got A positive blood. Then you've got, once you run it through a centrifuge for a little while and actually extract the plasma out of it, you've got yourself antibodies that you could actually give to somebody else that may actually need the immunity.
Well, they're doing that with everybody that does, or not with everybody, but they're when the situation is right, they are trying to get to those antibodies. I'd read some stuff about that too as well. And the thing is, Matt, before I let you go, I think all of us in 6 weeks, 2 months, maybe 2.5 months, we'll have a lot of real answers and we'll see what's really going on. Right now, we just have to do the right thing. Stay at home. Watch some movies, eat some good food, have a conversation with your kids that you haven't done in years, and that's it. Call it a staycation. It ain't that big of a deal. It's really not. The economy will get all of that back and everything else. Okay. Well, anyway, Matt, enjoy the rest of your night, my friend, and thanks for the phone call.
No problem. Go back, Tepe, buddy.
Yeah, go back, Tepe. Matt up in Winnipeg. And, like I said, I've got responsibilities and things that there's no way I'm doing anything that's going to disobey. Ain't happening around here. Let's go back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hey, Jimmy, it's Glenn in North Carolina.
Hi, Glenn in North Carolina. What part of North Carolina, Glenn?
I am about 10 miles away from Winston-Salem.
Gotcha. How you doing tonight? Everything good?
I'm doing good. I also want to tell you, for all my Spreaker buddies on there, that this is Lost at Sea.
Lost at Sea? What is that?
Yeah, that's my Spreaker name.
Oh, Lost at Sea is your Spreaker name.
Sea.
Oh,
yeah.
I got you. Okay, well, I'm looking over at Spreaker now, and I'm sure everybody's going to go Lost at Sea's on the phone, and they're going to say hello. There you go. All right, so what's on your mind tonight, Glenn?
Man, I just wanted to put some of the fear porn that's been coming out of the news media and out of the bureaucrats, et cetera, et cetera. I wanted to put some of that into perspective. I have an engineering degree from a major East Coast university. I have a background in applied mathematics. I also have a background in particle physics. I was a reactor operator in the Navy nuclear power program. So I'm just saying that to show that I'm good with numbers.
Okay.
And whenever I see anything that has to do with numbers, I'm such an engineering geek that I just automatically start thinking about probability and statistics.
Mm-hmm.
So when I first started seeing numbers coming out about coronavirus, COVID-19, etc., I immediately started something didn't look right. And for days I was listening to these numbers coming out and listening to all these figures and statistics, and something was just not right. And then the World Health Organization came out and said that they were going to issue a global pandemic. They put these numbers out saying what the infection rate was, what the death rate was. And I looked at those numbers and I just immediately knew that those numbers were not right.
What's not right?
I didn't know.
What's not right, Glenn?
The numbers are much too high. And what clued me into that is just the fact that we know what the data is for flu viruses because we have data going back over 50 years. We have data going back 100 years. So we know what those statistics look like. And these statistics did not look anything like that. They looked way too huge. And so I wanted to call in because today I had one of those eureka moments, I guess you would call it, where the light bulb went off. And it started with an article in the Wall Street Journal that came out either today or yesterday. So anyone can find this in the Wall Street Journal. 2 doctors at the Stanford Medical Center. Now, that place is no joke. The school that I went to is often called the Stanford of the East Coast, and it's no joke. So those guys know what they're talking about.
Okay, so what'd they say? What'd they say?
They said that they went through the World Health Organization's numbers. They correlated that against the numbers that are coming out of all of these different countries, including the United States and the CDC. And what they found was that the World Health Organization made a major mathematical mistake called population bias. And as soon as I saw that, I knew what had been eating at me for 2 weeks, because I know what population bias is. I had that in my probability and statistics class in school.
Right. Well, Glenn, let me jump in. We've got 90 seconds before the break, and I don't want to cut you off. So
well, I can finish this up real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
What they did was they used all their test kits on only people that were already sick. And then when they did their calculation, they applied their calculation to the entire population. So that made the number way, way too huge. And when these guys did the calculation, they found out that the infection rate was not the death rate was not 4%. It's 0.1%. And then another doctor from Italy came out today and said the reason the numbers are so high in Italy is because they've been calling every single virus person that comes to the hospital, they've been calling everybody COVID without testing. And every death, they've been writing it down as COVID. And this doctor said that the numbers are off by 88%. So I just...
Okay.
Nobody else is talking about this. Everybody's just focused on the fear porn and pouring out numbers after numbers. And I believe those two doctors because I got the same thing. Because I'm a person of statistics. I think about it all the time.
Yeah, see, and here's the thing, Glenn, and I want to thank you for the phone call, and I want you to know that the economy, not only for the United States, but for the entire planet, every country is affected. There is not a country right now in the world that is not looking down the barrel of a really bad future, right? Everybody's affected. But if what you are saying is reality, then it will allow us to get out in front of the virus. It's going to wind down very quickly. It's going to affect very few people. And we can get this part of the problem out of the way, and we can start focusing on getting people back to work and getting the world back on track. And let's just hope that that is the case. I mean, nobody wants that more than me. And so think about that. And it's a great phone call, and I appreciate you taking the time, man. Thank you so much.
All right, later, man.
Have a great night. And that is Glenn from, popped in from Speaker Chat. What was his name in a Speaker Chat? Spreaker Chat? I missed it. All right, let's get to our break right here. 747-228-2051. Tonight is Fadernight. Not tomorrow, tonight. Tonight is Fadernight. 747-228-2051. Tomorrow night, here on the show, Thursday, Chris Bledsoe's going to be here taking your phone calls and answering your questions all night long. All right, I'm going to take a quick break. I'll be right back with your phone calls right after this. Stay with us.
This is Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
This is KGRA Digital Broadcasting Station, Salt Lake City, Utah, Van Buren, Arkansas.
Okay, nurse, let's get this man to the ER stat.
Right away, doctor.
We see this every day. Heart attack or angina pain due to blocked and clogged arteries. Chelation can remove obstructions or blockages from arteries and help avoid painful and expensive surgery. Now there's Angioprim. It's a liquid oral chelation product that you take with juice. You start to feel the results fast. Angioprim increases blood flow all over the body, and that means more energy and strength to take on the day with less aches and pains. 60 60 years of research has gone into chelation, and Angioprim is the result. A safe and easy way to unblock your veins and arteries from buildup that slow circulation.
Paging Dr. Jones. Please report to the emergency room right away.
Log on now to angioprim.com. That's ANGIOPRIM.com. Or to speak with a trained consultant. Give Angioprim a call at 954-882-7221. That's 954-882-7221.
Introducing the new Surfer Music app. Listen, Fadernaut, you know I love my music. This is my go-to for all things notes. The Surfer app is a brand new concept in music listening. Surfer is free, providing unlimited access to thousands of live streaming radio stations. Surfer is an exciting, interactive listening experience. Discovery and surprise are built right in. Surfer is your destination to discover and rediscover great live streaming music. It features high-quality audio streams, free access to music from thousands of live streaming radio stations, unlimited listening, unlimited skipping. You get a music visualizer, and you can also select your favorite channels. Get it at the Apple App Store or Google Play. Just search Surfer Music or click on the Surfer banner at jimmychurchradio.com. Go Beckley Tappy.
Folks, this is very important information. What's to be said about CBD? AncientLifeOil.com. Our CBD is made from hemp and has 0.003 THC, which means this wonderful product won't get you high, no matter what amount you take. What does CBD do for the body? My hands are tied. But you can Google CBD benefits and be astounded. When you're finished reading, you'll want to log on to AncientLifeOil.com. That's AncientLifeOil.com. and purchase. Life is good when you feel good. People are tired of pain. People are asking for non-GMO organic products to help them with, you fill in the blank. Legal in 49 states, and again, our CBD is made from hemp. Ancient Life Oil is about helping people one by one by one. If you wonder how good the product is, the CEO takes it every day without miss. AncientLifeOil.com. That's AncientLifeOil.com. Have a great day.
You're listening to my main man, Jimmy Church, on jimmychurchradio.com.
Hi, this is Ray Hobbs here, repping the planet, and you're listening to my good friend, Jimmy Church, Fade to Black, on the Game Changer Network and the KGRA digital broadcast station.
This is Toby Kebbell. You're listening to jimmychurchradio.com. Don't hurt me, Jimmy. I'm only little.
Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier. And this is Ari Gold. We're the Honey Brothers.
Yes.
We're of the Honey Brothers. Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier.
And I'm Ari Gold.
We're the Honey Brothers.
And you're listening to Jimmy Church.
The Revolution.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and you can become an official Fadernaut by just going to our membership section at jimmychurchradio.com.
Hello, this is Serena Wright Taylor from Conscious Life Expo, and you're listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church, who holds the Lucky Pony record for the best astrological chart since 1963. True story.
This is Micah Hanks of the Gralien Report, and you're listening to Jimmy Church on Fade to Black, across the globe on the Game Changer Radio Network and the one and only KGRA Radio, The Planet.
Welcome back, Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Tonight is Fadernight. Tonight's Wednesday. Fadernight is tonight. Tomorrow night, Chris Bledsoe is here taking your phone calls, answering your questions all night long. Tonight, it's all about you. 747-228-2051. Let's go back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling? You're live.
Jimmy.
Yes.
Are you there?
Yes.
Oh, good. This is Malcolm down in Florida.
Take me off speaker, Malcolm. What's on your mind?
Well, normally I harangue you something about dolphins, but tonight I'd like to address another opportunity for change in the general paranormal movement,
and that is substantial lack of critical thinking.
Okay.
I just see people flying off on wild tangents, either because they don't know any better, and I was a little bit unusual as a kid, perhaps. My father was a radar engineer, and there was a lot of science magazines and things around, so I kept up with things in science, but I'm not that well educated. I only have a 4-year college degree. But I just see a lot of very uncritical thinking. For instance, I just heard a popular UFO radio program host talking about having received a communication from a being that said they were from a race that lived in the Pleiades.
Mm-hmm.
The Seven Sisters, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you know anything about astronomy, that is not prime real estate. Those are blue-white stars. They burn very hot, very fast. They are extinguished in like 1 billion years. There's hardly any time for life to evolve. Plus, the whole region of space that those stars inhabit, or exist in, I should say, is flooded with hard radiation and ultraviolet light, so it's going to sterilize everything. And it won't even allow complex molecules to form.
Okay.
So if somebody tells you they're from the Pleiades, the next question should be, well, what bridge do you want to sell me?
Right, but and that's okay if that's where your research and your mind has taken you. Totally cool. What do you do?
Mm-hmm.
What do you do, Malcolm, when somebody shows up in your bedroom or a voice pops in your head and says, "Hey, Malcolm, been wanting to talk to you. By the way, we're from the Seven Sisters." Are you going to turn around and go, "No, you're not"? I mean,
yeah.
Okay. Well,
yeah,
that's
I
it.
am.
Okay.
I went to listen, Jimmy. If you had read my human dolphin romance novel, What Got Us, which is based on that experience, you know that I went through a period of telepathy with the dolphin. And in the beginning, I thought I was going nuts. I was extremely skeptical of this other presence in my mind that could just show up at any time. And eventually, I decided to play the game its way and see what happened. And I guess it was the dolphin, It wasn't God, or some demon.
Right. But
it got so happy.
Yeah, but Malcolm, this is where you and I need to come to an understanding, because I say this all the time. You have written a book. You talk about telepathy and communicating with dolphins, and you want people to listen to you and listen to your experience, right? You have to do the same thing with everybody else. You have to have that same open mind. If you just shut down to everything else, but yet you want everybody to read your book and to listen to your experiences, then we're in the middle of some hypocrisy here. That's my take. I am open to learning and have my mind open on everything, including you, right? Including you. So that's
decent of you to say that.
But see, that's the way that I look at life. I've got crazy experiences. I've got stuff that I talk about all the time. And if I want people to have open ears and listen to what I have to say, I have to in turn do the same thing, just like I do with you.
And I am happy to indulge in any kind of speculation, provided it's supported by the facts as I can determine them.
That's fine.
If the facts are not there, then you're just floating on a cloud, buddy.
Well,
it's like why I don't try to communicate with dolphins now, because I don't have a dolphin that I can interact with on the physical plane to find out if anything has actually happened with. I could be fooling myself.
Right. But you understand what I'm saying, right?
Yes, I do. I mean, if that young woman had said, a planet orbiting towards Tauceti, for instance, which was a much better prospect of life, as I understand it, and is approachable in light years, but not the Pleiades. Those stars have spiritual significance to us, but astronomically, as a place for life, they're just no good.
Okay. Well,
so perhaps we are misinterpreting the message by thinking of the Pleiades as an astronomical sign and thinking about what do they mean to people. The Japanese see only 6 of them. They are called the Subaru. That's where that name comes from. The six sisters.
Malcolm, thank you for the phone call, my friend. Thank you so much.
Hey, Jimmy.
Hey, be safe.
Go back to Tepe.
Go back to Tepe. Be safe out there, Malcolm. That's Malcolm from Florida. Always keep your ears open. Like a wise man once said to me, that you have people that talk too much and don't listen, and then you have people that listen and don't talk. And that's and I've always been a talker, and I've tried to stay quiet and Rita will tell you I don't practice this nearly as much as I should, but I try to listen. I really do. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hey, I'm so glad you said that before I did.
Who's this?
This is Mike from Point Doom, bro.
Hey, man, how are you?
Good. I'm happy to report that my family and I are healthy.
That's all.
Couple of things.
That's all that matters.
Go ahead, Jim.
That's all that matters.
Yeah, it all that does. Jim, I've known you for years, and I never got to talk to Rita before. And wow, what a pleasant experience. She's like the love goddess. She's so patient with people. She's just a special person, and I just wanted to say that.
Yeah, right on, Mike. Right on. And at least your family's good because you're out there in Point Doom, so you're a couple of miles from the best farmland in the entire country. So you guys got everything fresh all the time.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like that, to tell you the truth.
Oh, come on. You can walk out in your backyard and fill up.
Yeah, but, there's a lot of weird things going on with the weather, and I won't get into that because I also think that that's part of this. A couple things I wanted to say real quick because I want everyone to have a chance to talk tonight, but my God, I could take up the whole show. Real quick, that's the show that you had with him last night really needs to be forced onto mainstream media. Everybody needs to hear exactly what was said last night. And I think it's even a lot, even for your experienced Fadernauts, it's a lot to take in, and it's so real and in your face that it's hard to accept. And a lot of time when British people speak to Americans, there's a semi-resistance. But, you put it all, you guys had that, to me, last night, and you had a lot of great bitchin' shows. Last night was maybe the most meaningful show I have ever been privileged to listen to, especially considering the current times. That being said, a couple of things real quick. Stephen Doctor, I love the guy, but there's some things there that just don't make sense. He seems to think that all aliens are extraterrestrials are benevolent because we have a tie-in to extraterrestrials where aliens there is no genealogy connected. The problem I'm having is this. He never seems to bring into play and evaluate. And you really tried to get me to do a show with you on April 11th. But unfortunately, every time I do a show, on the radio, something bad happens to me from either the police or the military. We could get into that later. Why, when I reported a UFO that was seen by our whole ship in 1979 on South Pacific tour, Goodwill tour, why did my captain react so scared and angry and basically kick me out of the service for reporting something that I should have seen? Is there a battle between extraterrestrials and aliens? And why doesn't Steve ever bring that into play? That's one question I guess I should let you answer.
Well, it goes along with anything, though, Mike. I think that there are so many, it's countless, it's endless, it's bottomless, the amount of contact, eyewitness things, videos, films, interaction. There are so many. You can only research so much. You can only have an opinion on so much. And your focus is always going to be in one general direction. Steve's, and I've seen him, heard him debate this, and certainly him and I have talked to about it many times. His focus is on benevolent. That's his thing. And that's what takes up his time, and that's it. There are plenty of bad experiences out there, Jimmy, I understand that, brother. I understand that, but why doesn't he evaluate both equally? I just told you why. It comes down to time. And I don't know how he splits up his research time or anything, but like I said, there's only so many hours in the day and so many days in the week. And his experiences and the things that he has done has led him in a direction of research. You can't tell somebody.
I got you. What he's doing is concentrating to substantiate his direction,
his own experiences, and I am sure that if he or anybody else, has some kind of traumatic, negative experience and he's witnessed it, then he's going to talk about that because there's going to be people around him that had that same bad experience. But
here, let me add a footnote. With my experience in the service, when I did see this craft come out and I reported it, and he was so upset. It seemed to me that one of the beings on this craft, where I could see very clearly two on the left that were small, one on the top that was probably 13 foot, and one on the right. It seemed to me that the one on the far left was trying to make communication with me that I have had with him since I was a child, which I verified before my mother, who was maybe the most beautiful person, wonderful mother in the world. It pained her to tell me that, yes, I used to be brought home in the middle of the night in the East Coast by people that she doesn't remember. And it was almost like when I saw this ship, the one on the far left was making a connection going, "Hi, how are you doing?" That's what I wanted to say about that.
Yeah,
I also wanted to put in.
Well, and my other comment before I let you go, Mike, and thank you for the phone call, by the way, is that the one thing that I can say about negative experiences or malevolent or malevolent is this: I truly believe that if there were a bad ET race out there that didn't want us to be here, they wanted this planet, dude, you and I wouldn't be talking right now.
No, and I get that. But maybe it's that the fact is that, it's kind of an unwritten law that is at a mutual agreement. But I want to tell you one thing that happened at the DMV the other day that you can analyze, and I'm done.
Okay, go ahead. DMV.
Yeah, DMV, real quick. Jim, I'm really I'm a Virgo. I was raised by a Master Chief. I've always been a super sensitive person. I notice things, and my personality is that my intelligence is I always analyze things to make sure that I am safe and making the best judgment. So I go to the DMV the other day for things that I've already paid for and waiting for the smog to be done, and it got done. And I went there to get my new plates and everything else. And I went to the Ma and Pa, I guess I could just say the location, San Clemente, which is the Mayberry RFD of DMV. So it's very, very low travel, blah, 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 blah. It's the first time I ever wore a mask and gloves. I just knew if I'm going to DMV, it'd probably be a good idea. As I pull up there with my son, and he says I'm staying in the car because the DMV representative is out there saying 6 feet apart, which I appreciate. If anyone's older than 70, you have to go. If you're here for a test that can be done online, you have to go. No children, only one person, and here's the kicker. We have had people from China in the building. There are a lot of germs in here. You're putting your own health at risk. When I finally got in, out of 60 or 70 normal chairs, there were probably 14, 16. The problem is this that I noticed that didn't make sense. Everyone that worked for the DMV behind the counters were not wearing protective gloves. We're not wearing protective masks. We're super happy looks on all of the faces as I panned the room and sat there waiting for my turn. And they carried on conversations that were not DMV related. And I'm thinking to myself, Jimmy, what the hell, if there's so much going on here that they're scaring the crap out of people to get the hell out of the building, hell out of line, do everything online. We've had Chinese people in the building. You don't want to be here. Then why were they so happy carrying on superfluous conversations, which if I was in that situation, I would have said, okay, thank you for the money. Here's your paper. Get the hell out of here. You know what that kind of told me is like, do they know something that they're not letting us know? I'm sorry. That was my take on it.
Well, and I think that's a really good point, and that's a really good observation. You never know. I mean, would the people at the DMV be privy? Possibly.
Yes.
Yeah, possibly. That's a good observation, but you're an observer, Mike, and I appreciate that, and thank you for sharing that with us.
Tell me your opinion. I'm good, man.
My opinion is it's a good observation, and they could be.
Come on, Jimmy. You got to give me more than that. Give me a little bit more, and I'll give you a Gobekli Tepe.
give me a Gobekli Tepe, Mike, and enjoy the rest of your night, my friend.
Love you guys. Gobekli Tepe.
Gobekli Tepe. Thank you, Mike. That's Mike from Point Doom. And, people at the DMV are oblivious or acting oblivious. Isn't that interesting? Hi, you're live on FadeToBlack. Who's calling?
Hi, Jimmy. This is Steve from Vegas.
Hey, Steve from Vegas. How are you, man?
Good, my friend. I've been doing some research on an incident that happened in L.A. about maybe 3-4 years ago. Do you remember those black helicopters going?
We lost you, Steve. Oh, man, that's unfortunate. Steve, call back. We'll get you to the front of the line. Hi, you're live on FadeToBlack. Who's calling?
Copy. Carrying on.
Hi, you're live on FadeToBlack.
Rachel.
Hi, Rachel. How are you?
I'm good. Rachel, calling from New York.
Hi, Rachel. Everything good?
Everything is, yeah.
What's on your mind?
Okay.
You guys are at ground zero right now. What's on your mind tonight?
We are at ground zero. I'm a flight attendant, and I'm based in New York. And so things are very interesting for us right now.
What airline? What airline? That's okay.
No.
Nobody knows. You didn't give your last name.
Okay, JetBlue.
JetBlue.
New York-based.
Okay.
New York-based airplane.
There
yeah.
you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
I know. I'm not going to say my last name.
No, that's okay.
But
how close are you to New York City?
I am in Manhattan.
Oh, no way. All right,
Yeah,
give us the report from the front lines. I'm looking at a bunch of pictures, and I saw some stuff today. Very interesting. And by the way, we feel for you. Our thoughts are with you. New York City is absolutely insane right now, and it's my favorite city in the world. Favorite city. Never shuts down.
You.
Best food, best people, best museums, best restaurants, best nightlife, best sidewalks. Oh, best kosher hot dogs. Everything. I love New York, man. So there you go. All right. So how you guys getting along?
Okay, but it's a little scary. I mean, for me personally, just because I'm with the airlines and I'm living in New York, it's extra intense. But I'm still reporting to work. I have a paycheck, which is
right.
But we're still concerned with the virus and precautions with that. Crazy thing is 2 years ago I had a psychic reading. This woman that I would go to often, and she did warn me that my airline job would be affected by something global at some point, and she said it was going to be not a terrorist attack, but something. She was vague about it, but she said your job, the airlines on a global, is going to be affected. And I kind of took it with a grain of salt and okay, I'll file that away in my brain. And then all of a sudden now I'm like, wow, she was spot on.
Well, she's not spot on yet because you still have a paycheck. Right?
Well, yeah.
She's not spot on. She's not spot on yet. You can't say spot on. You can't do that. And psychics are fun and tarot cards are fun and all of that. But that's just entertainment. Okay, it's just entertainment. So if it goes to the next level, Rachel, I want you to call me back and then say she's spot on. Right. See, I just try to be the voice of reason. That's all. Just try to be the voice of reason. And okay, so but really quick, I've got about a minute. What are the streets like? Does it feel different? Is it what the media is saying to us?
It's deserted and empty. And last night there were a couple of guys out on the street, and a cop car came by and told them with their speaker to go home. It's empty. All the shops are closed. Even the Dunkin' Donut, everything's shut down.
How bizarre is that? Because the one thing about New York is 10 o'clock at night, 11 o'clock at night, 12 o'clock at night, you're in, whether it's a hotel or your apartment or whatever, and you hear stuff going on. Right? You hear the garbage trucks, you hear the loading docks, you hear the trucks pulling up. That's busy 24/7. And if all of that is not happening, that's just got to be eerie because you're used to it. It's 365 days a year. It never stops.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Yeah, it's empty.
What about the hot dog carts? Are those gone too?
No, they're all gone.
Oh man,
they're all gone. Everything's shut down.
That's Armageddon when the what are those? What do they call the Hillel hot dog carts?
Right.
I said it out loud. I did.
No, it's true.
Man, when they're gone, that's when the alarm bells go off.
It's true. I just hope the subways are working on Saturday so I can go to the airport and fly out.
Rachel, be safe out there. You guys have a lot of challenges out there in front of you, but your job and everything else, be safe. We need you. And so go do your thing and check back in with this, will you?
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I will.
Rachel calling in from Manhattan with a first-hand report. Thank you for that, Rachel. This is Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. It's open lines all night long. 747-228-2051. 747-228-2051. More of your phone calls are next. Stay with us.
Way out here, we listen to Jimmy Church.
You're listening to Fade to Black.
Always on the edge of the hottest alternative talk. Jimmy Church with Fade to Black. KGRARadio.com.
¿Qué tal, mis amigos? Yo soy Mario Carson, el tiburón, y los invito para que escuchen a mi buen amigo Jimmy Church Radio. ¡Claro que sí!
Do you want to be an official Fadernight? Of course you do. This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black. Just go to our membership section at jimmychurchradio.com. Introducing the new Surfer Music app. Listen, Fadernauts, you know I love my music. This is my go-to for all things notes. The Surfer app is a brand new concept in music listening. Surfer is free, providing unlimited access to thousands of live streaming radio stations. Surfer is an exciting, interactive listening experience. Discovery and surprise are built right in. Surfer is your destination to discover and rediscover great live streaming music. It features high-quality audio streams, free access to music from thousands of live streaming radio stations, unlimited listening, unlimited skipping. You get a music visualizer, and you can also select your favorite channels. Get it at the Apple App Store or Google Play. Just search Surfer Music or click on the Surfer banner at jimmychurchradio.com. Go back, Lee Tappy.
So, you love talk radio? Then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com. TalkStream Live is always on, 24/7 with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite talkers and discover some new ones. It's free, readily available online or on mobile with any smartphone or tablet. Finding your favorite talk shows all in one place has gotten a whole lot easier. Just go to TalkStreamLive.com. Be sure to download the free apps from Google Play or the iTunes App Store.
You listen to us, and we listen to you. And so does the CIA. KGRARadio.com.
If you have hard water, the lime scale not only leaves white spots, it clogs pipes and breaks down appliances, costing you hundreds of dollars in energy and wear. Eliminate lime scale and other water issues like brown staining and bad odors with HydroCare water products available from Wave Home Solutions. Wave's affordable water systems don't use salts or chemicals. You'll love the way your water tastes, smells, and looks. Satisfaction guaranteed. For more information, go to bestwater123.com. That's bestwater123.com.
Are you intrigued by Paranormal Talk Radio? You'll love the new Paranormal Radio app from TalkStream Live. You'll find a great selection of talk shows covering UFOs, ghosts, strange phenomena, and much more. Download the Paranormal Radio app now and start listening to the very best in paranormal talk entertainment, including the network you're listening to right now, the Paranormal Radio app, free in Google Play and the iOS App Store.
You are listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Network.
Oi, oi, I'm Reese Evans. You're listening to Jimmy Church. This is Revolution. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution is on radio. Ciao.
Welcome back, Fade to Black. It's Wednesday night, Fadernight. Fadernight is tonight. Whew! man, the phones are jammed. 747-228-2051. You can try to get through, but everything is jammed up. But I'm going to say this really quick. Hot dog carts are gone in New York City. That's DEFCON 5. That's all you need. That is all you need. Man, Rita and I went to New York a couple of years ago and spent a week there. And we lived off those hot dog carts are the best. I don't care what anybody says, and they're lined up everywhere. Kept us alive, man. Let's go back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling? You're live. 3.
Jimmy?
Yes.
Oh, sorry. Update from North Carolina. Salutations and greetings. In Charlotte, North Carolina, tomorrow morning, they're issuing a stay-at-home order at 8 a.m. The county just north of Charlotte just had the first 2 deaths, COVID deaths, and they're instituting a stay-at-home order as of 5 p.m. tomorrow evening.
Oh, I thought you said 8 a.m. tomorrow morning.
Yeah, that was for Charlotte, and the county just north of that.
Oh, I got you.
5 p.m.
What's your name?
David.
David, are you guys ready? Did you go do some shopping?
I'm going to... I live just north of Charlotte, so I'll get out and do what I have to do before 5 a.m. They really needed to institute this a lot sooner than they did.
Yeah, you're probably
Charlotte,
right. You're probably right.
It's just people are not taking this seriously, and I just wonder if it's going to be the next big sale of infection like New Orleans. And I was watching Rachel Maddow last night, and something about these new thermometers, the TTSA company that transmits the information over the internet, and they had a map of the United States, and it was actually showing New York, and it was glowing bright orange, and then it was showing New Orleans Parish, and it was glowing bright orange. And I have friends that live in Tampa that can confirm this because I just talked to them a little while ago. The whole state of Florida was glowing bright orange. So, and they're actually saying that the next big hit is going to be the whole state of Florida, man.
Well, and again, if we all just relax, take a deep breath, stay at home for a couple of weeks or a few weeks, stay at home with your family, watch movies, play some guitar, hang out with your dogs, do whatever, have a little staycation, that's all. We can get out and get in front of this, okay? Remember, China rocketed up to 81,000 cases and stopped right in its tracks. And they've been at 81,000 now for almost 2 weeks, 80,000, 81. And that's, we can do the very same thing. So all we got to do is just do our part. Right? From the very the very foundation of the United States, which is you and I, right? Just do our part, and let's get out in front of this, and we'll have a great story to tell our grandkids, okay? And that's the way that I look at it, David. And it's not doom and gloom yet. It's not. And that's the numbers seem like they're crazy, but it's just we just have to do our part. That's it, and then we'll worry about the economy later. We got some checks coming in the mail in 3 weeks, and alleviate some of the harshness that is going on. The stock market went back up again today. That doesn't help the people that are out of work. It doesn't help anybody that has lost a loved one. It doesn't, and I get that. But we have a situation in front of us that could potentially get out of control. So let's just stay in front of it, David, and it'll be okay. And then you're going to call me in a couple of weeks and go, oh, man, church, whew, man, we dodged a bullet, right? And don't you want to have that phone call?
This is my first call to you, by the way.
Yeah,
I want an omelet, man.
Go cook one. And I'm going to have my omelet tonight, man. It's going to be good. I'll talk to you, David. Be safe out there, okay? Now go.
You too, man.
Go and do a little shopping and go Beckley Tappy.
You too, man. Go back to Tapley.
Yeah, thank you so much. That's David from North Carolina checking in. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling? You're live. 3, 2, 1. Oh, I hate to do this to anybody. All right, let's go to the next caller. And it looks like my phone system has just frozen up. It has just frozen up. All right, let's go here. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hi, Jimmy. This is Alberto from Monterrey, Mexico.
Hey, Roberto, how are you, man?
I'm doing very well. I mean, at the same time, I am a little bit sad about this situation. I mean, the coronavirus. We are on kind of quarantine.
Right.
We are not forced to stay at home, but the recommendation from the Mexican government is first to work from home. The public and private schools are closed. Many companies down here in Mexico were asking to its employees to work from home. So that is the situation. We have more than 400 cases confirmed in Mexico. 6 people dead. But in my opinion, and this is my theory about the coronavirus, is that what if first, how powerful is the mind, Jimmy? And what if the coronavirus doesn't even exist? What if,
Alberto, yeah, I know. I hear you. Bro, I hear you. Let me ask you this. Right. I'm looking at the Mexico numbers right here. You're right. 405 cases, only 5 deaths. You've had 4 recoveries. And you've got 396 active cases, only 1 reported as serious. So that's really good news. Very, very low numbers in Mexico. I wanted to ask you this, Alberto. I read that the president of Mexico said today that the power of the mind was going to keep him from getting coronavirus. Right? Did you hear that? Did you hear that?
Yeah. The hugging president.
Yeah.
Also known as the hugging president, because always he recommends to give a hug to everybody.
Right. And so that's a strange message to the people.
Right.
It
is. It is a strange message. What if coronavirus doesn't even exist? And what if the people that rule this world, Jimmy, what if they just want to measure a kind of Mandela's effect in different countries?
Yep. I've seen
what if they are trying to measure that?
Well, I saw a couple of comments out there in social media, and then I got 2 emails. I didn't get a bunch, but I did get 2 that asked me this question. Said, Jimmy, do you personally know anybody that has got coronavirus, right? And one of those emails I got last week, and at that time, didn't know anybody. And it made me, pause, stop and think about this for a second. Well, yeah, I don't know anybody. Well, that's not the case today. I do know a few people that have it. So that changed that dynamic. But last week when I got that email, I was thinking like you. Right? I did. That thought came in. Yeah, I don't know anybody with it.
Right. Yeah, me neither. I don't know somebody that got infected by this virus.
Well, not yet. There's only 405 people
yet,
in all of Mexico.
Right. And the thing is that according to the health department in Mexico, is that he was forecasting that maybe in June we may have more cases confirmed.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, Jimmy, in my opinion, and I was wondering last week that I don't know if you remember that a few years ago in Mexico we had the same situation, but with a different virus. Actually, a virus coming from a pig, maybe. I don't recall. But we had the same situation in Mexico, and it was the same. The media was reporting a lot of numbers with people infected, but I didn't know that somebody close to me got infected, to be honest.
Right. Yeah, well, when we apply the faces to this, and certainly you can't go to New York City right now and say what you and I are talking about. So we got to put it into context. Right. But, when it was announced today that Jackson Brown has got, coronavirus, that kind of hits home. And that puts a face to it, as opposed to these raw numbers that are being posted, 400,000, 300,000, 70,000. And you see these numbers, but you don't have the faces tied to it. Jackson Brown, oh, man. And Idris Elba, right? And Tom Hanks. These are people that we know. Yeah. These are faces that we know. And I do find one thing interesting, though, with it, Alberto, and I don't want to sound insensitive here, but
no problem.
How is it that coronavirus, it's one thing to get into a crowd or people that are at shopping malls or walking the street, you and I walking, I can see how you and I could get it. But
me neither.
But Jackson Brown or Idris Elba, who are they running around with, right? How did Tom Hanks get it in Australia when back then nobody had it in Australia? There was like 100 cases in the entire country. How does Tom Hanks get it?
Yes, that's right. And Jimmy, this is a common practice from the media. They show you a very popular people getting infected, right?
To scare the crap out of you.
Right, that's right. In order to, this is not about the population control. Population control, in my opinion, is part of this scenario. However, and I heard you last week saying that population control was not very efficient.
Not in this case.
And I agree with that. Right. Yeah, not in this case. And I agree with that.
You know what's,
and I agree with that.
You know what's funny, Alberto?
Right.
Yeah, Americans are going to be coming to Mexico. You're going to have to build a wall to keep us out.
Right. Right.
We're coming for you, man. We're coming to the safe zone. We're coming to the safe zone. I'm going to Monterey. I'm going to hang out with you.
No problem, man. You are more than welcome. Every time you want to come to Monterey, Mexico, you are welcome, buddy.
Yeah, thank you so much, Alberto. Be safe down there.
Thank you, Jimmy.
And take care of your family. Give me with your accent, man. Give me a Gobekli Tepe.
Gobekli Tepe.
Perfect.
There you go.
Alberto, be safe out there, my man. Thank you so much.
Be safe, buddy. Thank you.
Yeah, there you go. Mexico's going to build that wall. I'm just saying. They got 405 cases down there in the entire country, right? And the curve is flat. Let's go back to the phones. Hi, you're live on FadeToBlack. Who's calling?
This is Gary from Oregon.
Hey, Gary from Oregon. How are you, man?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
I'm talking to you, so everything is great.
Oh, I know. Hey, it was a great interview with David Icke. hike the other day.
Yeah, it was. He's the best, man. He's the best.
Yeah, learned a little bit of stuff. I never get to call in because, now I'm at home, right? But it's one of those things where I hope we're all safe, and I hope we get all through this. But one of the things I wanted to talk about, I've heard you talk about you're done with TTSA.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. But I've never been able to call in, and when those guys got on stage, and Steve Justice sat there and said, "I want to make one of these machines that he had up on that stage." I've been fascinated with that since that day. Why do you think he would retire from Skunk Works and even involve himself with this, coming from an organization that was, been mastered by Ben Rich, who has all these other quotes that all the ufologists know about?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think he's got it figured out and he just needs the funding to do it?
My opinion on that doesn't really matter too much. I would really appreciate if Steve, who I have a lot of respect for, and that he has seen things and done things that you and I know absolutely nothing about, and that's just a fact. But it would be great if he would come out and have a conversation with somebody and do an interview, because these kinds of questions could be answered. And you're asking an honest question. Is there? See,
why would a guy like?
I don't know. Look.
Right? It doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't, Gary, and I totally get that. And remember that TTSA established, 4 different divisions, the entertainment division, the technology division, and the science division, these different divisions. And Steve Justice was going to, or is heading up one division, and they're going to be building, with alien technology and anti-gravity public transport airplane to zip us around the world in 20 minutes or whatever it is. It doesn't matter. But is that kind of research actually going on? Are they going down to Escondido or wherever TTSA is based out of, down in San Diego? Are they getting together at the TTSA offices, spreading blueprints out and looking at CAD designs on a screen with alien technology being powered by Element 115? I don't know. Is that actually going on? I would tend to think no, it's not. And but that's just me. If they are, I would hope that they would tell us about the exciting research and the progress that they are doing with that division of the company. And that's why when I say that I've checked out of TTSA, when the news breaks, I'll report on it, but I'm not going to chase the story anymore. I just don't have the time or the energy.
Yeah. Well, I think he's probably hit a roadblock with trying to get, if it's there, and they've already done it, and he just wants to get it into the white world. He's probably just they probably hit a roadblock with funding and getting that technology to the point where they can work with it.
Possibly.
But for me, it was like a telltale sign that they've got this figured out, because why would he even bother unless he was counting on Jim Semivan or Chris Mellon to be able to backdoor channel the funding for it.
Right. And that's part of it. And I certainly, and I haven't gone back, Gary, I'm going to be very straight with you and everybody that's listening right now. I haven't gone back and looked into the details of TTSA in probably 6 months. When I said that I checked out, I checked out. And that's it. So I have no idea one of the things I am sure that they counted on was that when they went public back in 2017, that they were going to have $100 million or $200 million of stock sold, and they were going to be able to go and do whatever they wanted to do. And that, quite frankly, didn't happen. And so the opportunity, just like you're saying, to raise funds and have those funds there for that type of research and design and development didn't happen. But I'm not speaking from a position of knowledge. I don't have any inside information. I have the same information that you do. So, and like I said, if the story breaks, I'll be the first to talk about it right here, man. I'll bring it to you if I get it. All right?
Okay. All right.
Hey, Gary.
Well, thanks anyway.
Hey, Gary.
Yeah, like your show.
Hey, Gary. Gary, how you guys doing up there in Oregon? Did you get your shopping done? You know what you're going to watch on Netflix tonight?
Yeah, I got enough. You know, one of the things that about the TP crisis, why there sure should be selling some bidets, don't you think?
Yeah, I know. I was at the market today, right? And there was a sign on the door as I was walking in. This is a major supermarket. Said no toilet paper returns, right? I thought, how much toilet paper did they sell to like these individuals, right? You know, and now they've got 30 cases of toilet paper at home, and they realize they only need one for a year, and and they've been trying to return them. And I'm telling you, I almost took a picture of the sign, no returns on toilet paper, right there. Big too. It was big.
Well, what do you think of when you think Oregon? You think probably rain and fishing, right?
And weed.
Well,
I'm just telling you. That's what I think.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right.
But anyway, they closed all the boat ramps around here, and they've got a lockdown, and you can't go. You're not supposed to drive past your home river. Basically, but your home river, so you can't take your boat out because they locked all the gates on most of the boat ramps, and then you're not supposed to drive and be able to go get a tank of gas. You know, you're supposed to unnecessary travel. So a lot of our guides are out of business.
Well, and that's so, man, that bums me out. Right, and that's the part. That's the part of all of this that starts to get my blood to boil. Going back to what David Icke was talking about last night, right? A reset of the economy, and the harshness of it, and the puppet masters doing this, and that, you know, the numbers of coronavirus, which no matter what, we have to take it serious. We don't have a choice there. We have to take it serious until it's over. But the numbers of coronavirus, do they support shutting down the world, right? Do they support that? And so that's where we got to put this into balance here a little bit and look at one side and look at the other and try to figure this out. And I'm going to stick to it.
You can go fishing with social distancing. That's
absolutely. Well, we've been fishermen have been practicing social distancing for 5,000 years. Oh man!
Anyway.
Hey, Gary, enjoy the rest of your night, my man. We'll see you tomorrow.
Talk to you later.
Give me a Gobekli Tepe.
Gobekli Tepe.
I'll talk to you. Thank you, Gary. Gary up in Oregon, and he's right, man. Spot on the money. And with that, I got to take a quick break. Let's get that in. This is Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Tonight's Fadernight, not tomorrow night. It is tonight. 747-228-2051. 747-228-2051. More of your phone calls are next. Stay with us.
Hi, everybody. This is Rob Halford, the Metal Guard on JimmyChurchRadio.com.
This is KGRA Digital Broadcasting Station. Salt Lake City, Utah. Van Buren, Arkansas.
Why is it we're not very good with our health regimen until it's too late. We don't put oil in the car until the engine blows up. When the body's out of balance, your health is not so good. Give your body some love. Log on to GetTheT.com. That's GetTheT.com. Try our Life Change Tea, which cleanses you from harmful intruders. A clean colon is one of the ways to bring the body in balance. We also carry organic supplements to help you get where you need to go. So do your body a favor. Log on to GetTheT.com. That's GetTheT.com. You can even visit our sales page to save some dough. Does anybody call money dough anymore? Anyway, if you're looking for short, helpful health tips, go to YouTube and punch in Health Matters Now. That's Health Matters Now. So, log on to GetTheT.com, shop, get balanced, then learn some cool tips at Health Matters Now. You'll be glad you did. That's GetTheT.com.
Your contact for current news and trending topics. KGRARadio.com.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and I only drink Fade to Black blend coffee from River Moon. Just click on the River Moon Coffee banner at jimmychurchradio.com. Promo code F2B Blend.
So are you tired of being tired? Well, then it's time to get the tea. Hey, it's Lisa here to tell you about this all-natural, all-organic tea I've been drinking that has had great results for over 20 years. It's called Life Change Tea, and it's specially formulated to help detoxify and cleanse your kidneys, liver, colon, and blood all at once. The colon is one of the most ignored organs in the human body. The faster that waste is eliminated from the body, the less time that waste sits in our intestines, spreading toxins to our bloodstream. This tea helps cleanse chemicals caused by outside intruders from our entire digestive system. And get this, weight loss can be a side effect. And with continued use of the tea, you can experience clearer, healthier, younger looking skin, increased energy, and a happier outlook on life. So if you're tired of being tired, get the Life Change Tea at GetTheT.com. That's GetTheT.com. And like me, you'll be glad you did.
Did you know that when you're on the road with limited data or Wi-Fi available, you can still listen to every minute of Fade to Black by just calling 605-562-4482. No smartphone, app, or internet needed. It saves your data plan and no extra cost if you have unlimited minutes. Just call 605-562-4482. You can listen to me, Jimmy Church, on any phone, anytime, anywhere. Go back, Lee Tappy.
You want to know a secret? I love ponies. I really love ponies. I'm serious. I couldn't stay sane without ponies to brush.
Why Fade to Black? Because you never got that pony, damn it.
This is Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
Welcome back, Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. You like that, don't ya? Nothing like a flame. Flame top Les Paul. All right. 747-228-2051. Look, everybody, I understand the phones are jammed. If you get on hold, stay right there. I'm going to get to everybody. And so with that, let's go back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hi, Jimmy. This is Kevin from West Virginia.
Hey, Kevin. How are you, man?
Pretty good. I just have an observation.
What's that?
Last night with David Icke. Mm-hmm. But this also ties into what I've been posting on Twitter here today with all the screenshots from all these cameras around the planet. And see, we take stuff like that for granted now. It's entertainment. You know, you can go all around the planet, see places that you only dream of, and now, unfortunately, it's the only way that we can look at them. But at some point, this technology may be used against us, And that's just my observation.
You think it's being used against us now?
Possibly.
Interesting.
And it's because we're so used to using our devices, whether it's a laptop, a PC, phone, and it's normal now, even more so in this current time frame we're in.
Well, and there's another way to look at it too, which is this: if you look historically, you can go back to the Black Plague, or you can go back to the flu epidemic of 1918, where we didn't have the ability to communicate around the world. And so the news came slowly. And, of course, there was the medical side, and technology and how we understood things was different back then, too, as well. But back then, they didn't have a way to communicate. And even then, where travel was difficult. Today, we got planes, right? We can get a virus around this planet very quickly. Back then, they didn't have that, and without communication. And somehow, not only did the pandemic and everything end, and we figured out ways to do that in our own primitive mindsets back then, but we did it all without communication. Today, we have the ability to not only communicate on the internet, but there's FaceTime, and there's cell phones, and there's a worldwide global communication system that is in place. And maybe it's not being used against us. Maybe this ability to communicate quickly is what is stopping this from being absolute insanity. I mean, just imagine if we didn't have the communication and the infrastructure in where we can globally respond really, really quickly. And that's the other way to look at it. And look, it goes both ways, though, Kevin. And I totally agree with you in one aspect, and that is the media is certainly being used to elevate this and to alarm and to use fear, because the economic situation that has resulted from this is only because of the media and the fear porn. And I just wish that it would have been handled a different way. It's still with the same message, but handled in a different way to calm everybody down and still get out in front of this. You know, still get people to shelter in place and do these things, but we don't have to reset the world economy, you know, because of it. And I think that David Icke last night was very effective in communicating that to us. You know, the virus may be real, but do we need to do this, right? Is this really necessary? And do you remember, Kevin, last month, maybe 2 months ago, it was a while ago, at the very, very beginning, I had said, before anybody in the media mentioned this, I said, you know what? Forget about the virus, the economy, the chain of manufacturing, and what happens in China, and shutting all of that down is going to have direct effects on everything on this planet. There's nothing that you wear, eat, drive, communicate. There is nothing in your world that doesn't have something in China made from it. That's it. And that's the bottom line. And if you're going to go and shut that down, well, we're going to have an economic situation very quickly here that we're not going to be able to get away from. And nobody talked about it back then. I'm not some prophet. I'm not some soothsayer. I'm just somebody that is a consumer. And I recognize the world's dependence on China. And that's the truth. That's the truth. And here we are. 2 months later dealing with it. So how about you out there? Now, you're in West Virginia. Are you guys in shelter in place yet?
Yes.
Okay.
The only time I actually leave is to get things. But back to what you were saying, this situation Some people are not taking it seriously. Some are. But on the other hand, you've mentioned this a couple times on the show. It's a great time to set aside, do something that you actually enjoy doing. And that's what I've been doing. Just chilling out, watching films, working on my little podcast that I have planned.
Right.
And just basically chilling out. I'm not going to panic.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah,
Billy Carson. Billy Carson said. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Kevin.
You're fine. Whatever happens. But humanity can't just walk up to the cliff and say, "Okay, it's over. Let's jump off."
No, you can't.
I'm not going to be one that does that.
No, you can't do that. And Billy Carson the other night, with his advice, you know what? Take this time to start that company that you've always wanted to do. Now you got the time to do it. Take this time to write that book. Take this time to complete the dream. Take this time to go and find your bliss. Man, because so many people out there, I've got this idea, but I don't have the time. I want to do this, but I don't have the time. Well, now you don't have an excuse, right?
Right.
Just go and get it done. So good luck with your podcast, man. And absolutely, man, get the website done. Go and look. You're going to go down the road of putting this together, getting past the technical hurdles, and you're going to figure everything out. You're going to be booking guests. You're going to be bringing people on. You're going to try to carry on a conversation for 60 minutes or 2 hours, and you're going to find out how challenging and fun it is. We've been doing it now we've been doing radio for 10 years, over 10 years, and this show's been going on for 7. And think about that. We're 1,200 shows, right? 1,200. Right. So just go and do it, man, and enjoy yourself. And it's going to be a lot of fun. Don't take your foot off the gas, all right?
I won't, Jimmy. I appreciate it. Shout out to all the Fadernauts.
Right on.
There's a lot of great people out there in all kinds of subjects they're well-versed in, and I may be giving them a call.
There you go. Kevin, behave. Give it to me.
Go back, Lee Tappy.
Go back, Lee Tappy. I'll talk to you, Kev. Be safe.
Be safe, Jimmy. Thank you.
Another great call from Kevin in West Virginia. So, yeah, they're in lockdown, too, there. I did not know that. I didn't know. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hello, Jimmy. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Who's this?
All right, in the streets of Staten Island. How you doing?
Oh, hey, Joe. How are you doing, man? Everything good?
I was trying to make it, Jimmy. It's not easy. Things are very much different here than they were just about a month ago, my friend.
Yep. You guys doing okay out there, though?
Well, we, as me and my wifey, we know what's happening, and we've been prepared for years. We've been waiting for something just to use our crap. Let's put it like that.
That's funny. That's funny. Is Staten Island anything like New York City?
Well, it is part of one of the 5 boroughs, actually,
right.
Legally or whatever. I would say, let's put it like this, without getting too dramatic, not to make anybody, think we're all insane, crazy, wild. But let's say there's a little phrase on the street that's going around, And I'll tell you what it is. I don't know if you ever heard it. It's called new rules. In other words, we just jump back about 150 years to common law. We're in people's minds. In the sense that it's become less like Staten Island, New York City, more like Dodge City.
Oh, stop!
I'm not kidding. No,
I know.
I'm really not kidding.
Yeah. Just for a week or two. Yeah, just for a week or two. Just for a week or two.
I don't know. I don't know how true Ike was yet. Last night I heard him. I tend to agree with his ideas. But I don't know because, I don't know anything, Jimmy. I don't believe, I used to support a certain party. I'm not going to say who or what or where. We don't want to get political. Jimmy, I don't know what to believe anymore. Anybody tells me whether they're going to tell me that it's going to get better, whether they're going to tell me there's going to be a cure, whether they're going to tell me there's not.
Right.
Whether it's the ET, whether it's this, whether it's... Jimmy, there's three things I can rely on right now and only rely on. I told my wife today. You know what they are, Jim? My knowledge of history and things I've accumulated through my life that I put in my data bank, so to speak, my heart, my intuition, and my faith. And after that, everything has a question mark.
That's right. And there's nothing, Joe, there is nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that at all. And I've been very serious in my position and how I would like everybody else to just at least listen to me. You don't have to do what I say, but at least just listen and consider, which is this. We don't know. That part, we don't know. We don't know. We don't know what caused it. We don't know about the virus. We don't know about the economy. We don't know. We don't have those answers right now. What is part of our reality is the situation that we find ourselves in. So don't play against the odds. Do what is right. Do what is sensible until we can figure this out, which is kick back. If you have to stay at home, stay at home. You got to work from home, work from home. Cook some food, watch some movies, and take a couple of weeks off. We'll deal with the economy later. Let's get out in front of this so these numbers change so we can erase that part of it, and then we have everything else to deal with in the future. Right now, we just have to do our part for 2 or 3 weeks. And it sucks. It sucks.
I know what, you know what.
Just make the best of it.
I'm essential, Jim. I'm working every day, 7 days a week.
Right.
I'm a security, so I'm fortunate, but I'm out there too.
Yeah, well, wear your mask. And we need you.
Jim?
See, Joe, we need you, man. We need you.
You know what? You know what people need? You know what people really need out there? People who aren't afraid of other people.
Well, isn't it funny? Well, see, isn't it funny, Joe? And before I let you go, I want you to think about this. Isn't it funny how now we kind of look at everything and go, well, wars are stupid. Well, that fighting is stupid. Well, you know what? Crime is stupid. Well, you know what? All of that dumb stuff is just dumb. And it's really funny how we have been forced into a harsh look at the way that we have been operating this planet. And hopefully...
Let me just say...
Well,
yes, go there. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead, Joe, real quick.
I know what you're saying. Exactly. You know what, Jimmy? And this might sound really strange, but maybe it's like your guest guide to the seventh dimension, the essential person said, maybe isn't this just maybe what everybody deserves, and maybe there is light at the end of the tunnel. Let me leave you with that, for good or for bad, but that's where I'm at.
Joe, be safe. Be safe. Yes.
We screwed up for too many thousand years.
That's right.
Maybe it's time for a change. That's all right. We got to be ready for the next step. That's where I'm at, brother. So you take care. Be well, okay?
Yeah, you too, Joe. Be safe out there. Joe from Staten Island checking in. And I couldn't agree with Joe any more than it's just words of wisdom. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hi, this is Mark calling from Queens, New York City. How are you?
Hey, man, from New York City. How you doing, Mark?
Good. Just want to talk a little bit about COVID-19. I work at a hospital, teaching hospital and trauma center in Queens, and we've been hit really hard by patients with COVID.
How bad is it?
Let's put it this way. Our emergency department is at capacity. we are usually holding anywhere between 30, 40 patients to be admitted to the hospital with the disease. Our ICUs are full. We are currently still taking trauma patients, but at some point we may not even be able to take those because we're so overwhelmed.
Have you seen any of the ventilators and the other medical equipment and the PPE stuff that has been delivered? Have you guys at least been relieved of some of that pressure?
We are going to be getting some ventilators in the near future, and we're starting to receive more PPE, which is a relief.
It has to be. And what when somebody comes in, and it doesn't matter what they're coming in for. Let's just say in a normal day, right? Just a normal day. Every time a new patient comes in, you've got to wear a fresh face mask, right? Fresh gloves. You don't reuse it with the next patient, do you? That's not how it works in a hospital, right? And right? Am I understanding?
You're right.
Yeah.
There are some hospitals throughout the country where nurses and physicians have been mandated to use their mask for the whole shift, and some have even resorted to sterilizing them in between shifts and reusing the mask because in some areas the masks are in great shortage.
Right. Yeah, we can't have that. I mean, we can't have that. I wouldn't want, could you imagine, forget about an emergency room, right? Forget about an emergency room. Could you imagine if your dentist has got 3 or 4 patients or whatever, and he's in somebody's mouth, you know, and then it comes into you and starts sticking his fingers in your mouth and breathing on you with a mask that he was just, no, no. And it's the same thing in an emergency room. There's no difference here. And so you're going from patient to patient to patient, and you don't want to be spreading infections in general, let alone COVID or coronavirus. But that's just the way a hospital works. We found out about germs and infections a long time ago, and once we figured that out, and being clean and sterile is how you prevent all of this stuff. And so what makes coronavirus or what's going on in the hospitals any different than what we have learned in the past? That's it. We need gloves, scrubs, and face masks in plenty for everybody so we don't spread it. I don't want a doctor coming in and looking at me that has just been touching a coronavirus patient and this is going to come in and take my temperature. No. And that's what everybody has to understand, right, Mark?
Yeah, we change our gloves between every patient and wash our hands between every patient. The one item that is in scarcity are masks, and so we have to be very particular which kind of mask we wear with what type of patient we are working with.
Right.
If we're putting a breathing tube in a patient, we have to wear the N95 masks because when that happens, you know, there's spray and things like that, and you don't want to inhale that, so we have to wear the super high protective masks when we do those kind of invasive procedures. But for general care of the patient, we generally use just the regular surgical masks. But one thing I've learned through this whole COVID-19 outbreak, I remember at the beginning of March, you know, we started getting a few spattering of cases coming through the emergency department.
Mm-hmm.
And we were looking at it going, oh, it's not that big of a deal. And then 2-3 weeks later, the hospital's at capacity, coming up with contingency plans for more patients and everything. This bug has got my respect because it doesn't discriminate between sexes, race, age. It affects everybody, and it's kind of scary.
Well, thank you for being on the front lines. And have you been tested?
No. What's going on is that due to the availability of testing, we're decreasing the amounts of patients we are actually testing for COVID-19.
Why?
But if the patient is critical and we know that diagnosis is going to help us with the treatment of that patient, we will go ahead and run a test on that patient to confirm that they have it. That will help us target our therapies.
How quickly can you get test results back?
We usually get them within about 24 hours.
Right. And so where's the patient for those 24 hours? Are you sending them home?
Sometimes, no. Anybody we're ruling out COVID-19, they're being held until we can get a room, and they're being held in the emergency department. And then if we're lucky enough to get a room, they'll be transferred to the room. But if our suspicion is high and they warrant admission, they will stay in the hospital, until we get the results. But the ones that we have a lower suspicion of, we'll go ahead and release and go through the usual teaching about home quarantine, et cetera.
Mm-hmm.
But again, our hospital's at capacity because of this.
Wow. Well, Mark, thank you for taking the time to call in tonight. And the audience here, as you know, the Fadernight family is a big one, and everybody's listening to you right now. I'm going to say thank you from everybody, and here at FadeToBlack, that I feel that we're going to work all of you, those out there that are on the front lines. We're going to work you guys to the bone. And so just hang in there. We appreciate that. We don't need one of the points that I was thinking about, and I heard it brought up today. We talk about beds and we talk about ICU and bed capacity, but every time we increase that capacity, which sounds great, beds to me seem easy to get. You have to have a staff for each one of those beds. Right? So you can kick it up by 20,000 beds, but you need another 20,000 people to come in and staff that.
Exactly. Right now we have nurses that have generally not worked in a clinical area in other departments that are assisting in the emergency department and on the floors with general patient care.
Right.
And, they're going to be opening up the Javits Center as a temporary, 1,000-bed hospital. We're going to need folks from the Army Medical Corps. Governor Cuomo has sent out a letter to anybody who's been licensed in the state of New York, whether they're working or retired or just idle on their license, if they're willing to come in and help us get through this crisis.
And that's what you have to do. And the Jacob Javits Center, which is absolutely ginormously huge. Most people have never even heard of it, right? But it's the big convention center there in Manhattan.
Yep.
And it's like half the size of the island, right? The thing is giant, man. But putting 1,000, 2,000, 20,000 beds in there sounds great. But you have to have the healthcare workers. You have to have the doctors and the nurses and the staff and the ventilators and the equipment and everything, and the teams that have to be there round the clock to run it. And that's the part that I think is freaking everybody out, and it should. So if we're aware of it and we plan for it, you just don't want to be caught by surprise. And again, Mark, thank you so much, my friend.
Yeah, if I've got some words of advice to people.
What's that?
Wash your hands all the time. Cover, the stuff we learned in kindergarten. Wash your hands, after you sneeze or cough or go to the bathroom. Cover your mouth when you sneeze or cough. Social distancing. Keep that distance between other folks, because you don't know what their hygiene habits are, what their health is. And the one thing that we're seeing here in New York City is, there's pickup basketball games on basketball courts, and, you can't play basketball 6 feet apart.
No, you can't.
So
and you share the basketball.
Exactly. So, self-isolation's not not that tough.
No, it's not.
You've got Netflix, you've got Amazon Prime, you can go to the grocery store, you can cook, you can eat your eggs with pepper and all those good things.
Oh, Mark, thank you so much. And again, get some rest. Thank you for being on the front line. And please check in with us next week if you can find the time.
You bet. Go Beckley Tepe.
Go Beckley Tepe. Thank you so much, Mark.
You're welcome. Have a good night.
You too. That's a very important phone call right there. And I am going to go straight to a break. I got to get this in. This is Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. Tonight, Wednesday, is Fadernight. Not tomorrow night, but tonight. 747-228-2051. 747-228-2051. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Follow me on Twitter at JChurchRadio. I'll be right back after this short break. Stay with us.
Vivica Fox here, and you are listening to my boy, Jimmy Church, on JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Despite popular opinion, reading a book will not make you smarter.
But listening to Jimmy Church will.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and I take Life Change Tea supplements every single day. It's what I do. Click on their banner at JimmyChurchRadio.com. When you take the beans from Central America with dashes of Indonesian and African mixed in and then roasted to the dark side of Fade to Black, you create the ultimate brew of fringe. Introducing the Fade to Black blend from River Moon Coffee. Yes, River Moon's darkest customized roast was created for the love of Fade to Black. The alchemy of masterful roasting and smoking the beans is in every sip of this full-bodied, dark Java. I need my coffee dark, deep, with distinct bittersweet chocolate highlights, just like the bunker. Leaning further into the darkness of the roast is Fade to Black blend from River Moon Coffee. Just click on the banner at JimmyChurchRadio.com and use the promo code F2BBLEND for 15% off of your order today. Go Beckley Tepe.
Hi, folks. CBD is the home run hitter for health right now. Why, you ask? Because of what it does for the body. Unfortunately, I can't tell you all about the benefit. There's reasons. Do your due diligence and log on to AncientLifeOil.com. That's AncientLifeOil.com. Ancient Life Oil uses organic ingredients and is blended in coconut oil for some of the best benefits. Legal in 50 states and non-psychoactive. Log on to AncientLifeOil.com. That's AncientLifeOil.com.
Are you intrigued by Paranormal Talk Radio? You'll love the new Paranormal Radio app from TalkStream Live. You'll find a great selection of talk shows covering UFOs, ghosts, strange phenomena, and much more. Download the Paranormal Radio app now and start listening to the very best in paranormal talk entertainment, including the network you're listening to right now, the Paranormal Radio app, free in Google Play and the iOS App Store.
Erica, Brittany, Gabby, and you're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com.
It's not a lifestyle we chose. We were born this way. KGRARadio.com.
This is KJCR at JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Welcome back, Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Wednesday night, Fadernight, the best night of the week in all of talk radio. Tonight, right now, I've got a lot of calls on hold. Everybody just stay right there. We've got one segment left, and I will try to get to everybody. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hi, Jimmy. It's Sandy in Dallas.
Hi, Sandy. How are you? How you guys doing out there? You good?
Yeah, we're good. We're good. I am so happy to hear you got the eggs. Everybody can put that to rest. And
you have no idea, Sandy.
Yeah.
You have no idea. You have no idea. You have no idea.
Well, I will tell you this. I got my FadeToBlack coffee. I've got my chocolate, and I've got my cigarettes.
That's all you need. That's all you need. That's all you need. You got bartering power.
Exactly. And even some instant coffee as backup.
Yeah, is there anything better than chocolate and coffee? Right? Just bite, sip, bites. Is there anything better? I'm gonna have to go on the record and say there is not. There is not. No.
I must ask you.
Sure.
Did you get a new chair, and why don't you just get one off Amazon? What's the deal with the chair?
No, I haven't gotten a new chair. This one is so comfortable. It's a really expensive gaming chair. I don't know. I'm not some, big guy. I just wear them out. I don't know why it is. So, no, I've got to get a new chair. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, it's taking too long.
Yeah.
As long as the egg, longer than the egg.
No, yeah, I know. All right. So what's on your mind tonight, Sandy?
Well, I just wanted, to say happy Fadernight, and, I appreciate, the shows that you had this week, and, it's always good to get, I like the town halls and all the, Corona Shmormona going on. We're just going to see how this rides out, like we all say. I just wanted to give a quick call and just say I'm glad you got your eggs, because that was just hilarious.
Yeah, it's the pain is real. The pain is real. But it was so funny when I was told that they had eggs, right? And I go through the store and I look, and there they were. It was like, right? And I could not believe that I was looking at eggs, after so long. But we got them. They're jumbos, and they were rationed. I only got one. I got the rack, right? So it was like a two. What do you call it? It's like 2 dozen eggs in the open shell, right? Wrapped in whatever, shrink wrap or whatever. But and that's what I got, and I treated those things like gold.
Well, I wanted to ask you, because I had the same experience at the grocery store where they had the line on the floor at the checkout, and you had said that everybody was wearing masks. Were you wearing one?
No, we haven't been able to find them. I don't know if it's gotten to that situation yet. If you see me broadcasting with a mask on, that we're at another place with this. But I'm glad that people were wearing them. That they're taking the precaution, and the social distancing thing. And that lady today, I'm not sure of her nationality, if she was Asian or Latino, but it was really funny because she had a mask on. But she goes, "We're practicing social distancing," and everybody turned. I don't know if she was laughing or not, but it was really, really funny how everybody just turned around, and like I said, they gave me the thumbs up, and people were laughing, but they were just doing their part, and there was no issue. It was cool. I was glad to see it, that people are taking it serious.
It has gotten a little cray-cray out there, and, we spoke back in January about, you had said, can it get any crazier? And I'm like, yeah, and here we are, because we look at past stories that are totally forgotten. I think of, like, the Venezuelan blackout, and I think of DARPA looking for some warehouse. Those are the two things that come to my mind. I'm like, where is all that stuff going? And now we just don't have time to process, but we just got to take it day by day. But we'll get through.
Yep. And Sandy, be safe out there. And I know you're doing your part. And just go watch some Netflix, cook some good food. Coffee, cigarettes, and chocolate is a good way to, if you're going to go down in style. All right, I'll talk to you.
I concur.
Thank you, Sandy. Go Beckley Teppy.
Go Begley Debbie.
That's
Bye,
right.
Jimmy. Good
Bye,
night.
Sandy in Dallas with a very cool message: chocolate and coffee. Hi, you're live on FadeToBlack. Who's calling?
Good evening, Jimmy. This is Pete Penn from Piedmont.
This is Pete from where?
Pete Penn from Piedmont.
Oh, Piedmont.
That's in Quebec. Yeah, that's in Quebec.
How are you, man?
Very well, yourself.
Everything good?
Yeah, and very happy to hear from you guys tonight and hear the conversation. Just got a couple quick thoughts and a question for you.
Sure.
You know, the power of positive thinking has not really been prominent a lot in the discussions, and the placebo effect. If 30% of all cures, which has been proved by Harvard in a study recently, is the cure, then the opposite has to be true too. So I suggest everybody stay as positive as possible. Get an hour of humor every day into your life, and remember, everything in this world starts with a thought. And we are a product of our parents' thoughts. So we must be positive, have to be positive. And I want to thank all the first line responders and healthcare workers who are just doing an incredible job out there.
That's what I'm talking about. And I'm glad you guys are all safe up there in Piedmont, and be safe and be well, man. Thank you for checking in.
Thank you.
Go Beckley Teppy.
Go Beckley Teppy.
That's what I'm talking about right there. And the truckers and the people working at the warehouses and stocking shelves and the cashiers and everybody out there that is getting the logistics together to make sure that we are all cool. Hi, you're live on FadeToBlack. Who's calling?
Hi, this is Jerry from Wolf Point, Montana.
Hi, Jerry from Montana. How are you, man?
Oh, we're good. You know, the biggest scare out of this whole thing was when you lost your internet Thursday. I didn't know what to do.
Yeah, man.
California.
Yeah,
the shutdown begins.
Yeah, I know. I thought about that message by getting that, got to be straight with everybody. But if it would have been anything else, crazy, we would have heard from the rest of the country in one form or another. And it was just the local internet provider here went down in Los Angeles, and everybody was talking about it, and we were just part of it. And we were told that it was, a service upgrade, and it was, they said it was going to take 30 minutes, and obviously that wasn't the case. But how are you guys doing up there, Jerry? You guys safe?
We're doing good. I'm an internet installer, and I got about 1,000 customers, and we're still rolling. Everybody's working from home but us, the outside guys.
Right.
And take precautions. We're able to hand the modems out at the door pre-programmed or leave them on the porch, that kind of thing. But the reason I called, I wanted to give a shout out to Dr. Richard Allen Miller. I think he'd be awesome to hear from. And then I got 3 words, just kind of remind the Fadernauts.
What's that?
Operation Jade Helm. Operation Jade Helm.
Yeah, I knew that was going to come up.
It has to.
You think so? But you're up there.
I know, but listen, 2 seconds. How does that tie in with sending 20,000 soldiers? The David Wilcox story, the reporting from Europe. We're sending soldiers to Europe to arrest Satanists. I mean, for all we know, they could be right here. They just said they went to Europe.
Yeah,
I don't know what that means, but there's always something goes on in the background. We find out later, like the Saudis are flying out of the country, that kind of thing.
Right. Well, we'll see. I'm not. This is my thing, Jerry. This is my thing. I wouldn't worry about or listen to any of that crap. What you need to worry about is staying at home, getting your job done. You're out there making sure that we have internet. Worry about that and keeping your family safe, making sure that you stay healthy because we need you. Everything else doesn't matter. It's all just a bunch of BS. And And we'll worry about that in a couple of months. There, I've got so much stuff on my mind: my family, my parents, my home, the audience here, making sure that we're on the air and getting the knowledge out there every night and keeping everybody informed. Those are the things that are important. Everything else, man, that drama, go watch a movie.
Oh yeah. Well, it's real time movie for me. I mean, it's not stress. It's not.
Yeah, there's that part of it too. If you look at it as entertainment and you laugh at it, right? Then it's all good. Hey, Jerry.
Well,
Jerry.
Hey, have a good night.
Give me a go backly teppy. I'll talk to you, Jerry. Thank you so much, my man.
Have a good day.
You too. That's somebody out there on the front lines up there in Montana making sure that the internet is up and running. Thank you for the phone call, Jerry. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hi, Jimmy. This is Tom from Phoenix.
Hi, Tom from Phoenix. How are you, man?
Not too bad. It might seem kind of frivolous right now, but I just wanted to call in. I called in a while back, but I didn't get a chance to say it. I love your River Moon coffee commercial. Like, if there was an Oscars for radio coffee commercials, you just kill that thing. Every time it comes on, I feel good. You even got the beat break on it, and then you're back in on it, like, right on time. It's really a work of art, and no one ever says it. So
thank you, man.
That's really the only reason I'm calling.
Hey, Tom, and thank you for bringing that up, because today is Juanita's birthday from River Moon Coffee. And so I want you to say happy birthday, Juanita. Do that for me right now.
Happy birthday, Juanita.
That's what I'm talking about. Tom, thank you so much, man. And do you drink the coffee?
I haven't yet. It's hard to get my coffee online. I gotta try it now that I can't go out to the store.
Well, now that you called it, you know what? Juanita would love to hear from you. So just write her and go, Juanita, this is Tom. I just talked to Jimmy on the phone and wished you a happy birthday. All right? She's listening right now, so she's expecting to hear from you.
She'll hear from me. All right. You have a good one.
Go backly teppy.
Go backly teppy.
That's what I'm talking about. Thank you, Tom. That's a great phone call right there. Happy birthday, Juanita. Yeah, the big boss. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hey, Jimmy, how are you, man? Nice to talk. This is Paul from Orange, Virginia.
Hey, Paul from Orange, Virginia. How you doing tonight?
Hey, good. I'm doing good. First, I want to say shout out to the Spreaker family, Fadernight, because I haven't been there in a while. But they helped me out a lot, man. When I first started listening to you a few years ago, I was going through some hard times.
Right on.
So I love those people. I've called you before and talked about my own experiences, but my wife gave me permission to tell you about her. To give you a little background about her, her grandmother was a cousin of Hirohito. And she's a psychic medium. Super, I was with her for 20 years. We're separated now, but and I saw so many things that she did that, she's definitely the real thing. And there's really a treasure trove of experiences I could tell you about.
Well, Paul, let's get to it because I've only got a few minutes left. Okay, so let's just get straight into the meat of what you want to say.
All right. So the first thing I think would be to tell you about aliens. All right. Okay. Because I know that's a good thing for this venue. But okay, back when she was pregnant with our first baby, I was sleeping, And suddenly she wakes me up, shaking me, very frantic, saying, and I wake up looking at her, and she's saying, the aliens. And I was like, what? Where are they? And she said, no, they're gone already. And I said, well, why didn't you wake me up? And she said, I was trying to wake you up, but they wouldn't let me wake you up. She said they made me stay asleep.
Did she see that? Did she see them?
Yes.
And what did she see?
They were in the bedroom, she said.
Okay. How long were they there?
They were there, I don't know exactly how long they were there, but I know they came at least twice and maybe 3 times.
And why?
I know at least twice.
Well, why were they there, Paul?
She told me they were there to reassure her about the future, that everything will be okay.
Well, there you go. Well,
she was super worried about having a baby in this world.
Right.
And she said they told her, don't worry, everything's going to be okay.
And was everything okay?
Yeah, everything's still okay.
Yeah, awesome. That's awesome. And
well, do you want to know what they look like?
I do.
Yeah, okay. There was 2 of them. One of them was like, she said, basically was a human looking, with a very like a fair skin, and he had pointy ears,
like an elf.
Yes, elfin-like.
Wow.
Tall elfin-like. And the other one, she said, if someone looked at it, they would think it was his pet.
Interesting.
It was like half his size, half his height, and it was covered in brown fur, and it had ears that came off the side of his head, but they flared out off his head and then went up way above his head and came to a point way above. And she said most people would look at it and think it's some kind of animal. She said, but it's not. She said it's a sentient being. And she said they didn't come in like a UFO. She said they had like belts on, and with like some kind of device on their belts. And she said they wouldn't let her. She said she shook me and to wake me up. And she said they wouldn't let her wake me up.
Hey, Paul, do me a favor.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you 1 week to pull this off.
What's that?
Can you get her to call in?
Yeah, I can. Yeah, I'll try to. She's in Tokyo now.
Oh, she's in Tokyo. Oh, okay.
But she still could call in, but she's Japanese. It might be a little difficult.
Right, right. No, I get it.
Her English is pretty good though, but if I can try to see if she'll call in.
Yeah,
She wouldn't mind talking about it.
Yeah, I would love to hear from her directly, and that's pretty amazing. And what a great! I haven't heard it quite presented like that with the belts and the transporter and little.
She said they had belts and they didn't come in a UFO. She said.
Yeah, that's very interesting. I would love to hear from her. Hey, Paul.
They came again too.
Hey,
afterwards.
Are you safe out there? Is everything good?
Yeah, I got a lot of food and stuff. I've been saving up, and I'm hunkered down. I'm good, man.
That's what I'm talking about. And so be safe. We'll see you tomorrow night on the show, and maybe we'll get your wife or your ex-wife to call in next Thursday. Okay?
Okay, Jimmy.
Thank you, Paul.
Thanks,
go Beckley Teppy.
Go Beckley Teppy.
That's what I'm talking about. Thank you, Paul. Paul in Orange, Virginia. Let's keep this going here. We've got time for maybe 2-3 more calls. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling? You're live right now.
Would that be me, Jimmy, Lorianne?
Yeah. Hi, Lorianne. How are you?
Okay, I just muted. I'm new at this, what do you call it, interaction video stuff. Oh, good. I'm good.
Okay,
I'm very
good.
good. Thank you.
Good. Can you take me off of speaker, Lorianne?
I can, so that means hold it up to my ear, right?
Yes, that is exactly what that means.
Okay.
Okay, let's do it quickly because we're going to wrap the show. You're the last caller of the night, Lorianne.
Thank you, Jimmy. I didn't know I was.
Okay,
Can
there
hear
you
me better
go.
now?
Yeah, I got you perfectly. So what's on your mind tonight? How are you?
Well, I don't like to be rushed or under the gun, but and I forgot all the points I wanted to do because I feel like I started 3 hours ago. But I just, first off, all want to say thank you to all the Fadernaut for being such a really great group and supportive in all these times. And not only lately, but this goes back a long time. We're such a cool group.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely. And see, the thing is, Lorianne, is you guys did all of this on your own. You built the family. You named yourself the sandbox, the chat rooms. You guys did all of that.
Like a decade ago or so.
It seems
so
like
I wanted to say that.
Yes.
For sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely. What else is on your mind?
Okay, so I didn't mean to interrupt, but also, okay, well, there's a few things, but I feel rushed, obviously, because I feel like it's the end of your night. I don't want to take a lot of your time. Key points, like when you're under the gun, I don't know how you do this, Jimmy. And, okay, so key to you, I've been listening to you for a long, long time. I have a lot of respect for you and what you're doing for a lot of people. I always try to turn people on to listening to you, like Art Bell. I feel like people need to hear what your words, our research, our understanding, our learning, our library of knowledge, everything. Okay, so that said, I don't want to feel kind of crazy here, but okay, so all that said, then this whole crazy thing going on here, I work for a law firm, and I work for a law firm who is paid by insurance companies. So next to banks, insurance companies are pretty huge. And with the COVID virus shit going on right now, what I'm seeing, which I can't go too much into, but I will allude to, is there's a scramble in the insurance industry and the money industry to rewrite the policies to exclude so it's kind of crazy. Like, we all pay insurance, we work, we pay, we never get back. I don't know. This is really driving me crazy in my own life right now. I'm trying to be the light versus the dark, money, banking, insurance. It gets pretty deep. I'm not, I don't know. I just feel like under the gun at the last few minutes taking this call right now, which I wanted to talk about a little bit more coherently, but I can't right now. I'm very stressed out.
Well, don't be stressed.
There's
Lorianne.
a lot more. There's a lot more going on with the money world and the economics and the powers than people understand. And I think that's where I wanted to call in, because I feel this community understands that, and I have nowhere to go, and I frankly want to talk about it.
Yeah, and see, but that's and as I've got to roll credits now, Lorianne. But let me just say this. Let me say this: you have the family. You've got the Fadernauts. You know everybody, and it's the place to hang out, and it's a stress-free environment. And the one thing, because Lorianne, you're not alone. The entire planet is stressed out. Okay, and there are those out there that are part of this community that are very sensitive to these things, and we feel it more than others do. Okay, so you're not in this alone, and in the end, everything will just work itself out. Until then, you have us, and it's all good. All right, Lorianne, so do me a favor, say "Go Beckley Teppy."
Go Beckley Tepley, and thank you, Jimmy. I want to call back in another time and talk about things that I know, but that will be another time.
Thank you, Lorianne, and I look forward to it. Right back at you. And again, and Lorianne is absolutely right, man. Everybody's stressed. Everybody is stressed, and trust me, I understand it. The entire planet. You're not alone. What a great Fader night tonight. Got to thank everybody that called in. Twitter completely on fire. Thank you, everyone. FadeToBlack's executive producers, Rita Camarion. Show is produced by Hilton J. Palm, Renee Dennis, and Kevin. Announcers are Steve Harder, Gene Vitola, Mark D. Kovar. Webmasters, Drew the Geek. Music, Doug Aldrich. Intros, Spaceboy, spaceboymusic.com. FadeToBlack is produced by KJCR for the Game Changer Network, and syndication is KGRA, The Planet. This broadcast is owned and copyrighted 2020 by FadeToBlack and the Game Changer Network. It cannot be rebroadcast, downloaded, copied, or used anywhere in the known universe without written permission from FadeToBlack or the Game Changer Network. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Tomorrow night, right here, Chris Bledsoe, taking your phone calls, answering your questions all night long. Until then, everybody be safe. Go Beckley Teppy.